I'm just gonna kind of put you there, that way you can kind of see me. Yeah, put the TV on. That way I can kind of see where everything is on the camera wise, and what it's actually doing. I'll see if I can do chat. I don't know. See if I can see chat anyway. Connect to chat. Successful. Yeah, we'll kind of do that. That's fine. Uh, there we go. Just gonna move some stuff around. Just kind of thought I'd go in the shop and turn on live as I was doing stuff here and there. Um, Tuck my stuff away. That was good. I like that. How my graph paper fell on the ground. I got a oil slick back here ish, that I'm trying to kind of put enough sawdust on in the next 10 years to go a little. You can kind of get a little bit up. It's not too detrimental, but something kind of stays on it or gets on it, it'll come off on some things. I don't see anybody in the chat or the chats. My phone's not. It's a brand new phone. It's not really working too well lately. It's kind of weird what it's doing. It keeps trying to go to satellite. Um, I don't really like that. So that's that. I still got to build a window seat out of this material here. If you, yeah, you can kind of see it. It's just stair treads. It's just stained gray stair treads. It's for that right here. This is the template for it. I got to make it probably at the end of the month. It's not a huge priority. They're out of town, I think, with their first grandkid or something. So they're not really expecting it right away. But I got to get on it because those time frames will sneak up on you. I don't have any finishing to do on it really because of the material's already finished. I'm just kind of cutting it, kind of like at the top, and kind of matching it together. And what it is what it is, and that's all you get, type thing. Um, but I kind of did it to myself because I made the top. I was just going to do a white top, and then that matched a piece of furniture, and I had that left over from a job. And no, I had that actually when Lumber Liquidators was around. There was a really good um, general manager that we worked with all the time, and he had them extra. They were either unpicked up or damaged, or maybe they were damaged. Maybe they were just not. They're not 100% the best quality. They got a lot of like saw marks towards the ends. You can kind of see them. Now I don't know if that was supposed to be. They weren't picked up or they were refused. But he said, "Hey, I got like I think 6 or 8 of them. Rich. was his name, and still is. But Rich was um, putting. I'm just gonna throw them away, write them off. He's like, "Do you want these? Make something out of them." I said, "Yeah, even if I can make a table or some shelves for the shop." I did one in my previous shop. I used a few of them, I think, for shelves, like corner shelves, uh, where I had my Mortison machine, my Powermatic. I think it's the 719 full base. It wasn't the tilt model. Maybe it was a different model number. But I didn't have a tilt because it was an older model. But it was the floor model, and I had it in my shop in Florida, and it was great, but it didn't have the tilt, and I wanted to get the tilt, so I sold it, thinking I would just replace it right off the bat, and I didn't. And then they went up. They were like $15.99. Now they're like $18.99 or $17.99. They're expensive now. Everything went up in the tool industry. Everything went up. Probably 10% on average, maybe a little bit more. I don't know if y'all know that, or if you're just in the market for looking, or if you've been in the trade for a long time, you know. Even this table saw, I can't. It's like Lee Nielsen or something like that. It's some kind of guy's name, family name, that has the shop that can order the machinery. He gave me a price on the Oliver table saw, which you see in the picture right there. Hey, John, you popped up on chat. Hey, cool, you're from Texas. All right. I have a friend in Lubbock, Texas. I think it's Lubbock, something like that. So I'm gonna maybe go out there and see him this year, because I got to go to Texas. A few things, or I might wait until the knife show comes around again. I think it's in March. There's a big, almost like Blade Show. It's I think it's Blade Show West or Texas. It's in March, I believe. I gotta look it up, but I might try to go to that this year. I'm kind of sick of the Atlanta Blade Show, but I will be maybe going to that one. So when I go out there, I'll see him. But yeah. So this is the table saw. Let me get a drink. When I was pricing things up and I was trying to decide to go to the Saw Stop or the I like the Oliver. Oliver seemed like an older whatchamacallit, a older Powermatic, like a 66, which I love the Powermatic 66. We got one down in the Florida shop. It is awesome. I love them. They're great. Can't beat them. So I wanted something a little bit more robust, and I got you can see it. I got another leaf. They finally sent it. It's only about a foot. There's the leaf size, but this is the 12-inch, so it's deeper. And I wanted it over here because I like a big cast table. I debated on the Jet and the Saw Stop. The Jet has a full leaf, but it's kind of like where this one is. It doesn't go all the way to the 52, so your fence isn't really supported 100%. So when I do the leaf, hopefully in about 2 months I'll do that. I can add this blue solid surface and finish it out. That way it kind of matches the saw. It'll be pretty cool looking. Then I can kind of finish this. There's just multi-horses under here, which have the horse plane, and then they have the roller balls, and then they have the big roller cartridge, and then something else. I think they have a big roller. They have two rollers you can pivot. Then they have the little round ball rollers. They're really good. I can't remember. We got them on Amazon. They don't really have a, it's kind of dirty. It's like Workus, but yeah, I like those a lot. So what I'm going to do is I got to mock this up. And the main reason, like I said, the main reason I wanted this saw, this configuration, was because it was the ease of usability. Look at that. That's my drink holder. So I try to put my drinks. I try to put my drinks on my metal, but sometimes happens. So I have that solid surface lying around as a coaster. And as I work in the shop, I'll kind of spin you around, and you can kind of see more of the shop if it's your first time in or not. Um, have a cool bunch of tools, a cool bit of everything. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut this down on the miter saw real quick. That way I can get my, this is going to be a dishwasher panel kick. So I know the size because I know the opening's 24. I can do the size to 23.5, which gives me a quarter lip of wiggle on the kick of the dishwasher. It was a job we did. It's in the things. It's a big brown kitchen like this. It's got a lower dry bar in the slate, which is like a gray color similar to this. And then it has a laundry room and a mud room. So it's kind of cool. It's a lot of cabinets for one house. But I got to go back and adjust 2 hinges, put this in. I think it's tomorrow. And I'll go live too. It's a beautiful drive up in the mountains. Hopefully I got signal all the way up. There's one place it loses signal sometimes because all the leaves are on the trees. It's a big, heavy area. But it's in the Smoky Mountains, so I'll do that. But yeah, so I'll just mark this, run that over on the Capex real quick. So depending on the height, because this will all be cuttable, I'll run this just through the table saw at whatever height I need to finish that kick out tomorrow. But it'll all be built. I'll just put a little bit of tape over it. That way it doesn't. I just have a job site battery powered DeWalt saw, and that'll be towards the top anyway if something tears out. And I have filler and I have multi pins, so that'll be good. But I'll cut 2 real quick of this, and I'll kind of show you. I have the tripod up kind of high. It's about 8 feet. So it's kind of cool. Let me turn the laser on, kind of see where I am. There we go. I don't have the best lighting. I got to put a big light over my miter saw station because it sucks. It is not good. There we go. And then I'll do is I'll just lay this on top of the other one and then just push my blade towards the other one with that laying on top. Move my other piece out. And then cut it. So what I did here, kind of get to an area. This is just a 3-inch filler, and they didn't have any corner pieces to. I'm trying to get to the point, so you can kind of see how it's orientated. I just carved that out on the table saw and made my own 90 degree corner piece, and then I will just. I did this in the rest of the kitchen. It kind of looks more finished if you do a piece like this, or grab some face frame that you're not going to use, or something like that. But I have a finished edge here and a finished edge here, so The only thing we had to color in some instances was this piece right here, and we used markers. But sometimes we'll make our own trim pieces, even if it's for a whole kitchen. I'm sorry, a whole kitchen. And already finished pieces. You can use your best kind of discretion or kind of idea. That's a little long. I'm about a blade high. Let me cut that off. That's going to bother me. That way I can't run it through the table saw. I could run it through the table saw after I get it done, but I'd rather just cut that blade off now. And I just move this has a double marker, so I just move it to that ledge. And like I said, anything that needs to be filled in, I'll fill it in. Yeah, it's better. So it's got a double laser on it. Double laser line. Hey, John, wow. Yeah. We worked pretty hard to bankroll this kind of shop and all that. A lot of money goes back into the shop. That way we can work with nice stuff and appear like we know what we're doing. But yeah, if I haven't said hi to you, I haven't really been watching the chat all that much. I'm just kind of talking as I do stuff. So usually what I'll do is I'll kind of lay that out. And then I'll use like something like this to kind of put it, and I kind of just mock it up. That way I know where I'm going and what I'm doing right here. One of my first videos I did in the shop when we decided on finally doing YouTube was I did a measuring tape kind of haul and kind of discussed my favorite measuring tapes and why I like them and everything like that. So anyway, I'm going 23 and a half. So I have my inside already formed there. So this is a mock-up. So I know I'm going against that. So I know I'm going, it's a 24-inch opening. So a little bit of room on both sides of that and the gappage. That way the dishwasher can be pulled out. I'm going to mark on the inside of this L. And that's going to be where I cut it. So I just marked right there on that inside. You can grab your handy square or a marking tool. This is not a woodpecker's. This is just a cheapie from Amazon. I don't always go super bougie on the tools. My setup blocks and my other stuff, they can be those Amazon knockoff red, blue. You can order them in your favorite color. They're all aluminum. They work, and if they get stolen or broken or you got to replace them or add to your collection, it's just easier and better. So I can rip this on the table saw. I can put that right up against the table saw and cut that piece. And that's kind of why we love this miter saw. I'm sorry, slide on the table saw so much is because I can use it as a miter gauge. You just put it up here and you eyeball it and you think I can cut right there off. You can move at that point. If you're not reaching across the table, you can move your stop. So once you got to where it looks good, you can move your stop block out, push it down, put it right up against there. Double check your stuff. and all that fun stuff. So yeah, what I need is I need a rich sugar daddy to support my tool buying problem. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. It'll look really pretty. It'll look really nice. A little more custom. They did an RTA, which is a red like in the box um, thing to actually make a custom look like a custom kitchen. So that's one downfall of doing that. It's a little more work for the cabinet guy. That's fine. I can glue that. I can CA glue it. I can wood glue it. The wood glue won't stick 100%. I can put some silicone on it. Silicone will stick, especially in the water area. Might do a little dab of both silicone and CA glue. That way it'll hold. And I'm just going to put magnets on the back. I'll do a little like here and here and here and here, maybe in the middle. I just got some cheap magnets from Lowe's. They're in a bag somewheres. But I can't do that. But let me go grab the stuff I need. You want to be on the thingy? Yeah, it's live. Here's the other mic if you want it. I tried to put it on there. John from Texas is sending some stuff. You can look in chat on it. That's the only thing I saw come up was just one person.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it's on there, but I don't know.
Keep talking. I'll try to get on here.
I have no idea where. Holly's going to give me a hand with the chat and all that fun stuff. I just got to find the glues, some silicone. I had some CA glue somewhere.
There we are.
It was in a bucket.
She wants to know when you found the banker rolling chair.
The what?
Or no, John does. Where did you find the banker rolling chair?
Oh, that. I misunderstood the chat. I thought you said, where did I bankroll, like the money to buy the shop stuff? No, so that was my great uncle's chair that they were getting rid of and kind of downsizing his estate. And that was one of the picks that we found that we liked. It is awesome. So I have to get Holly's feet out of it, but I'll do a quick.
Call it your napping chair.
Yeah, this is my napping chair. I mean, I need to redo it. The joints, I've glued the joints back together a few times, but dude, this is where I sleep half the time. Because it kicks back and you can just put your head on the table saw, and I fall asleep at least once a day here for however long and whatever. It's awesome. It rolls. The finish is gone. Some of the piping on the bottom is gone, but that thing's probably I would probably say at least 60 to 80 years old, because it is it's extremely old, because he had it and everything he had was old, including himself. So
the thing is, though, is that you've had more times that I found you on security cameras asleep here.
I'm trying to find my super glue, like my marbles.
What are you looking for?
I got it out of the truck and I put it somewhere. Don't you hate when that happens? It's like losing your car keys and then finding out they're in your pocket.
Is that something you bought earlier?
No, that's it's in a little bottle like that. I'm just gonna have to. I want to put super glue on it that way it would dry, and I can move it around, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. So I do half the day.
We spend more time searching for stuff than installing stuff.
Yeah, I need to put stuff in cabinets and then mark the cabinets and put some stuff on the wall. We have a lot of just bulk stuff that we have in here after jobs and stuff, and we don't have full time to take it all apart and put it away. But we really need to start doing that because it's becoming ridiculous to try to find everything you possibly are looking for. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even have a little bit of it somewhere. I think it's in the van. I think I put that bucket together. Well, then it's just going to get a couple tiny little nails in it. Then how about that? We'll just do that. We'll put tiny little nails in it to hold it together while the silicone dries, and that'll be all that happens to it. How about that? That's 3/4. Check my nails and see if they'll go through or not. I don't really want them to. Nope, we got about an 1/8 on a 3/4 screw there, or nail. So, best little tool on the truck and in the shop. We have 2 of them. They are awesome. We utilize the heck out of them, and once you put something together with that, it ain't coming apart half the time.
Did you already explain what you were building and why?
Yeah, I did. Did somebody ask her? It was a little bit earlier. I'll kind of revisit it.
No, well, I'm saying because you're going to show it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll show it tomorrow. Kind of like what it is when we go. We're gonna try to go live at that property, but it's in the mountains, so it's kind of hit or miss if you got signal. And it's not a occupied house per se, so there's not like it's has internet and stuff. So yeah, these things are great. I just put like little 4 corners. You ain't even got to fill them. They're so small. You ain't even got to fill them. That way I don't got to do any fixing or trimming or anything like that on site. All I have to do is if this is too high, I run it on the table saw, and that's it. That's all I got to do. It's really easy peasy. Yeah, so that'll stay together, and that's fine. And then you got the actually exposed wood, so your plywood won't really delam. If you want to go another step forward or further, you can always take a piece of scribe, and I think I have a piece. I can cut it, see how it looks. I can put one there, but sometimes it just looks busy. Sometimes the more you put on something, the busier it gets. Now, would it be better to do it? Probably, because it is the dishwasher. You're not going to see the top as much as you're going to see the bottom. So let me see if I have a small piece of scribe I can cut for that. Go back over here in the warehouse. That's the other color. That's a piece of batting. I got something. I got something. So I can put that down here. It doesn't look bad. Again, if it ever gets wet, the wood would be better to put on there than not have that added protection for them. So I'll do it. Top I'm not going to worry about, but this I will. I'll put that on there. Why not? it's a custom job, so you might as well go a little bit above and beyond. If I'm not saying hello to you, hello. My assistant will say hello in chat, or she'll tell me to say hi to everybody when I'm not moving around on a scavenger hunt. And again, if you have
I
any...
said hello too.
You said hello? Who said hello? Hey.
Is the Holy Shop a good thing, a bad thing, or
is it the Holly Shop? Kind of like the candy shop. I don't know. You can elaborate, though, if you want to. Or if it was a typo, I understand.
maybe all above?
I type like a T-Rex. Oh, you sucker. So I have everything pushed around, and the miter saw is kind of backed up and congested over here.
He's asking what the project is.
Hang on, let the vacuum shut off. What was that? Which one? What?
Not so ordinary. He's asking what the project is, and then no, he's saying it's enormous. Not so ordinary.
Okay, so not so ordinary. So we're trying to wrap up a few little jobs here in the shop, and what I'll kind of show, I got to cut some 1/4 inch, which is actually 3/16 ply. I made a video on that of making a solid surface vanity. This is a dishwasher cover. I didn't make it small enough. I need like not even a 16th off of this, probably like a 32nd. But we're making a dishwasher kick cover because it has a door on it right now. Same kind of, this is called Kodiak, same kind of Kodiak color, but yeah, I can get that to work. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of silicone on that.
There are lots of video clips from this job. We've done a lot of customization. It's way up in Girton.
A lot of shorts. We'll probably do a walk around because all the trades are done finally in there, and it's just been a hodgepodge of too many people in a small space on top of a mountain job. So it's kind of been like Fight Club. You just got to fight for position half the time, and then you get going in a groove, and then hey, can you move your truck? You know, it's all that kind of funness in a job like that. So anyway, this is just I'll bring this closer to the thing, and I'm gonna put some magnets on it. I got a little bit of filler. It's in the van. I don't have my van. I got my little sports car today. It's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. So this is it. So it's got wraparound covers around a piece of 1/2 inch ply, and then you'll see that under the dishwasher, and I'll cut this down to height in the underneath, so you won't actually see that cut. And then there's real wood down here, that way in case something happens. So I'm going to attach some magnets onto the back. I'll just drill them with a Forstner bit, probably 4 of them. I just got to get those out and get a Forstner bit, and we'll do that right now. That way, if I can silicone those magnets in and let them dry, since I'm not going out today to do it. It's tomorrow. If I had my CA glue, I would just drop some CA glue in there, but apparently I don't. So that's always fun. All right. Lowe's haul. Plus I got some 1/4 inch dowel. Somebody saying something's. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 500. We were at 500 last night, and then we lost, like, I don't know if YouTube did it or if there was bots in the chat or bots in the thing or something. We dropped like 12 subscribers overnight. No, I'm sorry, within like an hour period. We ran out of lacquer, so I had to get some more lacquer. I didn't have any natural finish or natural wood filler. I really like the Minwax. I hate that other stuff that feels clumpy and gritty. It almost feels like there's sand in it. I don't like that stuff at all. This stuff's a lot smoother. I have my magnets, little pack, and then I needed some spray foam to fix a hole I made in the insulation. I was going to cut in a window actually because you can't see. This is a covered building. It's a dome. We got really like 20-foot ceilings. It's really great to work in. It feels like you're working in a gigantic place. The problem with it is there's no exterior windows, which is good for a shop that has tools in it, but it's bad because you almost forget what time it is if you're working, and it's like a time warp, and it's not good. So I got dowel. I got to move 2 pieces of hardware over tomorrow, and I got just a little 1/4 inch oak dowel in case I got to drill the hole bigger, insert this, and that way I can move the screw around. And I'll have my CA glue tomorrow. So, and I might just drill the holes and wait on these actually with the silicone, because I will have my CA glue with me tomorrow. Somewhere I have a set of Forstner bits. Get out of there. All right. I got a Diablo set of Forstner bits, and then I got another Forstner bit I got from Bob in the truck. I'll use my DeWalt. I don't use my DeWalt since we got the Milwaukee set in the shop.
Josh, that's exactly kind of how we did it.
I
He
can't.
did the.
What was that? I just started woodworking.
He's saying that he got his tools whittling and with craftsmanship over time. Read the text.
It's just that one? Actually.
That's exactly how we did it. You started it as a side
Yeah.
hobby over time.
You want me to go into kind of the explanation of it all? I can do that. I can talk for. Let me get a drink. I can tell you kind of the origin story. And it probably won't be the first time, and it probably won't be the last time. And let me know if you want me to do that. I'll ramble on about the origin.
Probably the first time though that you shared that.
I've touched base a little bit on it. Just let us know, and I'll go over that. Or do you want me to talk about what I'm doing in the woodworkings? So just type in yes, origins, or
Yes.
all right, yes. So grew up a carpenter's son. I was hauling cabinets and 4 or 5 years old in job sites and moving things around, and I would have those big Sunoco nail guns that were bigger than me. We'd have to pull out all the extension cords in the morning, run all the air lines in the morning, my brothers and I, and then we would get to going on stuff. I got the baseboards because I was the smallest one, and they got the bigger, heavier stuff. But we would, go do trim outs and kitchens for builders, apartment complexes, all kinds of stuff. So doing it as a child, you grow a hate for it. So then you rebel and you don't want to do it anymore. So then I didn't want to do any kind of carpentry. I wanted to work on hot rods and do more like computer work and other stuff. So yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I want to make sure I'm going down on the right section there. So I'm going to cut the top off. Anyway, kind of provocative. So I got a job with Honeywell. Well, actually, first in high school, I worked in a machine shop doing hot rods and airboats and machinery work. Super cool. Learned how to fix machinery, weld some. clean parts, do valve jobs, guys, um, and other stuff. And then I went to that was all greasy. So hanging out and going on dates and stuff like that with girls, it wasn't like one or two. They pretty much all said I stunk because I smelled like motor oil and grease half the time, and my hands were disgusting looking, more so than they are now. So I kind of got out of that. I was like, screw that, you know, and I wanted a nicer, cleaner job. So then I started working with Honeywell, did controls automation, didn't do any woodworking at all. But I mean, I was kind of artistically kind of doing stuff and all over the place. And the Honeywell and the origin of that side of the electrical industry was, I'll just kind of roll over it. I won't touch base 100% on it today. But then I started doing that, and then I started doing high-end electrical service, machinery repair, you name it, that type of thing. And I got not sick of it, but kind of. And I wanted something a little funner, a little better. And I started doing just projects for people on the side because I knew how to do it. I didn't have a table saw. I didn't have anything. I had electrical tools, which I still have multiple places. But yeah, I didn't really have anything like that. So I kind of wanted something different to do in like a spare time type thing. And we redid like a 1910 house. And that kind of fueled it a little bit. We fell into that HGTV trap where, you know, flea market flip and what was it? House hunters, and all those.
We got into the trading spaces, HGTV.
Yeah, all those ruining your life scenario things. But yeah, so we did that, and I would do little side jobs for people on the weekends and nights, build ourselves furniture. Her dad did custom work. He did like high-end planes and cabinetry, and he had a little wood shop too. And it just kind of progressed, and we had corporate jobs, and we were like general managers of stuff, and just hated life, you know. And we still did the woodworking on the sides, and I made knives and gun grips, did cool gator grips and snake grips, and we were kind of big in that kind of I don't know, genre or trade or whatever for a while. And it's okay, but there's a lot of, you know, things going on with that. So I really like the bigger stuff better. I'm more active. I like walking around and doing stuff, and that kind of just puts you right in front of a desk again. So I would sit there for hours building gun grips and knife handles. Again, it was okay, but I preferred, you know, a little something different. So I didn't really pursue that, but we did pursue the job, and I felt horrible. I was probably 30 more pounds than I am today, and I was unhappy, and I felt like I was about ready to have a heart attack most days because everybody stressed me out, and I couldn't take it anymore. So she told me basically, if you want to quit. You know, she was like, you know, to pay all our bills, we need like 2 months of work. Booked that was 2 months.
1 month.
1 month. She gave me 1 month, and she said if I can work, or she helped me too. But if we can work and get 30 days on the books, you can quit your really, really good paying job to do what I wanted to do. So we did. I did at first, and she followed shortly after, just because it was easier and better, and we had control over our lives again. People weren't calling me. I was over 3 shifts, so people would call all in the middle of the night, and instead of doing their job and knowing what their job was, they would just call, be like, "Hey, I know I do this 5 nights a week, but this is broken. Yeah, you shut the power down and you restart it for the 4th time this week." So it became mind-numbingly stressful, and then I have to go in and all hours of the night. So again, we left that and pretty much just never looked back. We started growing and growing and growing. We have a shop down in Florida, a shop in the Carolinas, and we do work from anywhere from Georgia to Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, and Georgia. Right? I get all of them. Yeah, I mean, kind of like Need Kitchen will travel, um, and it's easy. And we do more than kitchens. We do
You
custom.
got most of the ones that we really go to, but the fact is, if they pay you, you'll go there.
Yeah, I'll go to Vermont. I'd rather go cool places in the cooler months. I don't like the heat. I hate the heat. That's why kind of we're up here most of the year. Go down there sporadically to check in on what's going on there. But yeah, I would rather just rather not. I think I'm gonna put silicone in these because
Eric asks, where in the Carolinas are you? So, Eric, we are near the upstate South Carolina to western North Carolina.
Kind of straddle it, It's
kind of straddle the straight line.
But we're kind of in the Spartanburg, Greenville, Asheville area. And then we go to Charlotte a lot too.
Majority of it is from, we'll say, Shelby to Asheville to Greenville to Spartanburg, Waynesville, Blowing Rock. We go to Charlotte a lot. To be honest, we thought when we came this way that we'd be in Asheville more. That is absolutely not what happened. We work more in the Charlotte area than we do in the Asheville area. Huntersville, Hickory, Rock Hill, all of that area.
All right, so that's done. If I have to, I'll put little dollops of silicone on the back and just push it on. I hope these aren't earth magnets. These are just, nobody had earth magnets, and we forgot to order them on. Well, we didn't forget. I kind of came up with this at the last minute because, again, it's going on a dishwasher. So there you go. It's just a nice little cool panel, and hopefully those magnets will grab something. If not, I'll just silicone it. It's $5. Figured it would be kind of cool to do, but if it doesn't attach, it doesn't. And I got some filler and some markers in there. There's a few little, I just want to fill all the little holes and touch up the little marker stuff. But yeah, hey, if you're in here and you just like wood stuff and knife stuff and some cars every now and again and some cool scenery.
They were asking what an earth magnet is. What is an earth magnet?
I don't know. So an earth magnet is usually, I have, let me find out where I put the other magnets at. Did I put them over here? Yeah. So Home Depot, Lowe's, things like that. Harbor Freight was supposed to have them. These are just regular disc magnets, but they're right there. They're okay. The earth magnets are the ones you have in like levels. They are super strong. Like you put them on something. I'll see if I got one. We'll kind of do a little magnet. You want to play with magnets? It'd be like fourth grade science class. So I have that. And then I have 2 of these. So, yeah. Hang on, y'all. I have you up high anyway. Let me readjust you real quick. So we're gonna play fun with magnets. Just wheel you on
We
over.
actually went to Harbor Freight this morning and they didn't have it. So we had to get it from Lowe's. That's where we were going to go.
Yeah. All right, there you are. You're a little bit closer to me. So the way I understand it, anyway, and that's why I say earth magnets, because that's the term I've heard over and over again. These little silver magnets are more powerful, more compressed. They're in the bottom of tools and levels and things like that. So when you go over, I'm just going to use one. It's pretty on there, pretty good. It's not, it doesn't come off. If you put that on a piece of pipe or a really good surface, I mean, I got a tug on it. That's on there. That's pretty good stuff. Same thing with these little ones. Now, if I have these things, and it seems like the more you stack together, the better charge it is. But see, it's almost like the claw, the gripper. I don't think these are going to work very well. So you have to kind of, it's almost like those games where, was it the claw machine? Yeah, it jumps around, and if you just get it right, it doesn't really stay. But this thing,
yeah, let's be honest. What we didn't know that what another thing that's not on the brochure about magnets
yeah,
is that so a lot of our tooling, our screwdrivers, our drills are magnetized. And we grew up in Florida. And when you are in cold weather, it demagnetizes your drills. So when
all your
you
bits.
are doing work and you are in the cold, the first several years we were here, all the bits, it drops the screws, drops the nails for days, and we couldn't figure it out. And then we had to look it up, and that's not on the brochure when you move here.
And it's like that, obviously, when you go to colder and colder climates too, where it is extreme cold. I really put my Forstner bits back. Yep, without putting my bit back that was in my drill. So, yeah, and that just really sucks. I mean, even with these, like if you're running impact guns or running drills, it's always better to have a magnetized extension. That way, theoretically, it'll hold that screw on when you're drilling it in. When it's kind of inserted in there and it's on your drill, it hold. This is a little bit heavy, plus it's not the right kind of thing, but so it'll kind of hold it on there. Colder weather demagnetizes them, and you can get those little. I don't remember the exact specific name for them, but you actually like insert and pull back and forth on that actual magnet. Control yourselves, and you go like this, and it kind of positively charges your bits. And these do have magnets in them that kind of transfer the magnetism out to the front of the shaft. The smaller bits, I don't like, but they hold a little bit better charge and magnet to them. So, I mean, a good point is you have to actually magnetize your bits too, which we don't do. I've been thinking about it because it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So that's earth magnet anyway. They're stronger, they're better, they're more positively charged. They do stick to each other still, but they repel each other too. Like I'm pushing, and you see it. It's pretty strong. These two together, they want to try to go sideways of each other, but they're strong. I wish I could have got those for those panels, but we'll see if that. Like I said, if not, I'll just put a little bit of silicone on it. All right, the next project we're doing. My kick's done, and you can tell me if anybody has anything going on or whatever. Go around the shop. These are some pews I got to take apart, and I got to build. This is cut this big long one apart to get it out of the church. I got to take these end caps and make those two end caps and another two end caps over on the other side to make some handrails. So we're going to go over here. These handrails will go on, and we have stair treads we got to do this coming up. So we polished this out yesterday. I got to extend this up a little bit because it is too low. So I got to get some material, and it doesn't really matter what I use. I'll probably just use some kick maybe. I'm looking. Give me a second. I'm trying to find materials. Again, it's like a scavenger hunt. If you want to say something, Holly can tell me what's going on. But anyway, if you haven't liked, subscribe, please do that now. We do stuff like this all the time. We're going to start doing a lot more lives, just because we're in the shop all the time, or we're out doing something. And if homeowners don't care, they already sign when they do the contract. It's in there anyway that they are allowing our social media clause, or what do you call that?
It's a media clause.
Yeah.
We just asked them for permission.
They're agreeing to that.
Film on the project within the home.
We can film or use any of the short videos or anything like that on the old internet. We
don't require that. We just ask them permission if they don't mind. 99% don't mind.
But we'll do giveaways. We'll do, as we hit milestones and stuff, there is a hammer mallet that we're going to give away at 500 for interaction on the, like a viewer appreciation type thing. I'm trying to find some 1/4 inch. I'll just use kick. I don't want to rip down a whole sheet, and I don't know where it exactly is. So let's bring you back over here, and you can kind of watch me rip some kick. That, or I'll just rip a little sheet of wood.
What part of the Tennessee area, Josh?
I didn't hear you. Just talking. For some reason the chat keeps disappearing off the TV there. Or y'all just ain't saying anything. Hope y'all are still in here. Hope we're at least somewhat entertaining. 3 inches.
It's really strange. It goes on and off.
Yeah, I know. I think it's either goes into sleep mode or something. I don't know. So what's kind of cool about this is if you look at the thing, this is roughly 3 inches. That's kind of why on some stuff I'll cut 3 inches to it. I've got to do some stuff on the fence. I don't 100% like my Oliver fence on my saw. We have a super cool tools fence on the Powermatic in Florida, and that thing works really good. It's got a lot of tension, but I don't know. I have to look into it and see if it'll fit and work on this. So you kind of got to make a cubby for yourself in here. And we're going to be doing some upgrades in the shop and things like that. It'll be kind of fun. Let me rip this real quick.
Yeah, what he isn't telling you is that I told him we can do a loan to do some equipment upgrades, and he basically took that as challenge accepted.
There we go. That's better. One more. I'll do one kind of close piece. That way I can do the sink cutout. All right, and then all that I can chop up on the miter saw where I need to. Come over and get you. What's going on?
So I mentioned that I told you we were going to get an equipment loan, and you basically said challenge accepted.
Oh yeah.
And they were asking about a CNC machine.
No. So I've done CNC machines with the granite company that I've worked with too. I had a water jet intensifier. It was good, but you spend so much time programming and so much time fixing them and so much time troubleshooting them and so much time zeroing in your bits. If we get really busy, we'll have to move anyway. We're adding some area onto the shop for a finishing area, but it's going to be kind of over there. But if we're going to get that big, we're just going to move facilities and we'll do a whole nother kind of, I mean, the ones I want are like 250, 300,000. If to get the better ones, I'd rather just get lines of cabinetry myself. I don't really believe in CNC for woodworking, guys. It's just a personal preference. I've thought about getting a Shaper Origin. I am going to get a 3D printer because a lot of little parts and pieces I would need. Yeah, the 3D printer is probably about as technologically advanced as we're going to go for now. We're not going to go crazy with it.
Dust collection was mentioned. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, dust collection is on the list. I'm sticking with this table saw. I like that. I'm going to shift it a little bit more over once I get some of this wood out of here. But I don't have the throw I would need for a 12-inch cabinet or a slider saw. So this with the saw stop large slider works for us in here. It cuts time down dramatically, even just adding that. So this is kind of what you want to see when you're doing this, just like a granite top would be. This is 1-inch ply. This top had to be 1 3/4. So I had to I'm going to just add that on and just staple it down. I'll put a little bit of wood glue on it. I'll just tack it down with the nail gun. That way it sets up. I do have this where I can cut kind of a piece of that off to kind of put there. I'm going to kind of run back and forth as I cut this on the miter saw. And then sometimes even if I do have this, if I'm in the shop and I'm doing something like this, I might have like the little portable job site one I have in the van. I don't have the van with me today. So if I had the van with me, I would just cut that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of piecemealing this together. This is how I get my steps in, y'all. You walk from one side of the shop to the other, to the other, to the other 5 times. And you don't have to measure it. This is just a spacer to get it out. This is just batting, basically. I don't need it perfect. Nobody's ever going to see this. This is just for it to sit level. So these pieces are for that. That's for that. That'll be good there. I'll cut that little piece. Yeah, there's a full video on me kind of making this countertop the other day. If you want to check that out, it's pretty cool. Kind of go over just a little bit. I cut the sinkhole in it, all that fun stuff. Hey, Eric. Let me know if people come in, or I'll keep saying hi sporadically. I'm not really paying attention to the TV or the chat. Holly's kind of answering people as they come in and stuff. All right, I know these are like 15, so I can cut these down. I think I cut everything else at 15. I'll do them a little shorter than 15 on the miter saw. Yeah, say hi to everybody else too. Like if you're in here and you know somebody else that's in here, say hi to people. Definitely, this is a safe space, guys. You can talk about yourselves all you want in here. Somebody's in here, that's fantastic. If you want to share something, great. If you want to ask a question, great. I kind of hope that was enough of the origin story for you. I didn't really go into, again, huge detail. Just kind of gave you a rough kind of thing. If we do a live kind of Q&A thing, we might do that, or we might even put a video up eventually of kind of that. I know people like the backstory. Kind of vanilla. We don't really have a whole lot out there. So to give you all, I dove in the deep end. I've never even had a Facebook, any social media presence, nothing. I have not existed besides maybe a company email. I've never done social media. And then we talked about it, and everybody was asking, "Hey, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? You're interesting. You do all kinds of cool stuff. Why don't you? You have the tools. You have this. You have that." And yeah, I dove in the deep end. We just jump right in. Now she's had it, and I've looked on her marketplace, and we found tools and things. Sure, no problem. But yeah, we just went for it, dove right in, and it's been fun. We've met some people in chats and live things, and kind of started using YouTube a little bit more. Kind of started making the noise than watching the noise, but it's been pretty interesting, to say the least. I've met even a few of the big timers out there doing stuff. So bought some equipment off of a few of them, talked to them that are kind of in this area. There's a few of them that are that do stuff locally. And again, I'm just using this to kind of just tack it down to where the glue will dry. It ain't got to be perfect. It's just spacing it off. That way I can set this on top of the countertop. That's all it is. I believe these are inch staples, so they won't really be in the way. They're not going to bottom out or do something weird. Oh, don't need that. That's scrap. That's because they don't make 1 3/16 plywood. So you just got to make what you make. This is 1 inch plywood with what they call 1/4 inch, which is 3/16, any kind of filler batten quarter-inch ply, unless you get true quarter-inch, which is MDF core with maple veneer. That's what we make the door panels out of. Sometimes you'll have if you use this quarter-inch, you got to sand it to make doors out of, but it's inconsistent because there's movement in it that you'll find, and plus this will swell. A lot of times this will swell up after you get some paint on it, so that kind of stinks. So it's a lesson learned, and you just got to move on, because there's not a whole lot out there about door making. I might make a separate thing on us making doors. Might be kind of fun. I do it differently. I don't do anything conventional. Anything that you see on any of these other guys' stuff, I make it up as I go. I'm a troubleshooter first. That's my background. I'm a huge troubleshooter. I look at it as challenge accepted, just like the spend the money, right? I always look at stuff from a troubleshooting mind, an artistic view, an engineering mind, all at the same time, and then I kind of make it up as I go. And then I usually, if I'm building doors or if I'm building anything, if I build it twice, I'm going to build it different both times, because what's the fun, unless I'm absolutely trying to perfectly replicate something, what's the fun of doing something twice when you can have two totally different experiences by doing it two totally different ways? So I'll let that dry. This is done. It can go out this week. It adds some weight to it, but this is solid surface. This is a sinkhole cut in. The sink faucet area is integrated into the drop-in Kohler sink. I don't remember what brand or which model it is. I cut the backsplash. The backsplash are 6.5. This is a 3-wall pin. So can you see? Move it over here a little bit. Maybe that will work. So let the camera catch up with it. There's a delay from filming to the actual live. There we go. All right, I can see that now. So I do a little Dutchman or a little notch. That way the splash will cover it. This is narrow. The fronts are always out. The backs are always narrow on a 3-wall pin, which you have a wall in the back and a wall on the side. That way you can get it in a little bit easier. You notch your sides. That way you don't have as much material to work with here. And if you have to, you can always recorrect and cut that. Or if you have to sand this down a little bit, I only have like a 1.5 by 1 3/4 nub I got to manipulate versus cut the whole thing down. So that is the thing you have to do. Since I have silicone on this and I have nails on it, I'm going to spin it around, and I'll just put the weight of the top on itself and let it cure. So that's done, ready to go out, polished to 1,000. It's 1/2-inch material. It's really cool stuff. I showed it off on another video. When we do giveaways and stuff like that too, if we have cool material, kind of like that, I'll make some like shop coasters or some coasters for some people that way you can put on your stuff or put on your, and it just looks neat, but it's plastic. You're not going to break it. Here's another piece of it here. It's a larger piece that's right here. It looks like marble. So pretty cool. And again, thank you all for kind of coming in the chat and hanging out and talking and watching what we're doing. We're just doing, like I said, wrapping up a couple projects. Now I got to get my brain together and think what I'm doing. Sounds like the lawn guy's outside. Let me think. I got to put that together. And then I got the dowel. After I'm done, I'm going to lacquer. That'll be the last thing we do is I'll lacquer the bottom of the shelves. And then I sanded them all the shelves, or both the shelves, down a little bit because there's a little bit of roughness to them. I don't like them on shelves. The sides and stuff like that, I didn't go crazy furniture grade on the sides. Let me walk over. Hang on.
He was asking if you use a lathe at all. I guess you talked about.
If I do what?
He was asking if you dabble with a lathe at all. Maybe you talk about Heidi or whatever.
Yeah, so I don't have one here. There's one in Florida in the Connex. We don't do that here. But I will be. That's on the list. I'm probably going to get the Laguna, the larger Laguna with all the bells and whistles, and start turning legs myself. Start working on some mallets and just different stuff. Also, too, I can make some chair spindles, mostly to make feet for furniture. That's a big thing we want to do because if you have the wood, if you're turning stuff, before we did, and I've turned some stuff. I've had to turn some spindles to do some repair work, and we don't always repair furniture, but if somebody asks us to, we do. But and we're a small production shop. We do a lot of custom work, but we usually just buy our legs from like Osborne, and there's another company, one of the local places up here, Klingsport. They order their legs from somebody else, but these are a pair of walnut legs. Um, they got a little bit of moisture damage on them. I know I know you can't turn that on a lathe, but they have lathed legs. Sometimes on a peninsula, we'll, like in a kitchen, we'll do legs like this and then put them. There's one of a white kitchen that we did that on. Put two legs out here, and then did the countertop on. Sometimes we'll integrate a shelf down low into the legs. But these are really cool walnut legs, and you can see they've been around for a while. They got dust on the bottle. Country music reference. Tell me what.
For turning legs, are you going to use a duplicator for the lathe?
Yes. So I'd like to get a duplicator. I've looked at a couple lathes online that already have all that set up, and I might even get a second lathe. So if I can get a duplicating lathe, I've always wanted a gun stock duplicator because you can do the same thing with it. And then I've even seen where people will go to a bit maker, and a lot of times they'll do, like if you're doing mallets, say if you want to pump out a bunch of mallets or something like that, we'll use this Festool here thing. Or if you're doing a bunch of spindles for a chair, they'll carve out on a die or on a like a piece of steel, or you can even make one yourself. Just get a flat piece of steel, heat treat it, and then carve it out to where you want it, at least get rough shape, and then you can make a drop on the actual lathe on how big you want it to be, and that's your duplicator, is a piece of metal with the design cut out on it. That this is aluminum. Don't do it with the aluminum, but you can do that with it too. Especially if you get round stock, or if you round stock it out first. That way you don't have any large hits, and then you actually do that. I like machinery. I like making machinery work for us. I could redesign almost anything, any tool, any piece of machinery. Again, I have a very engineering mind. I can adapt it or recommend anything 3 ways from Sunday on how to make it better. But the problem is sometimes that boils down to making it better for me. So not everybody might not like it. I know when they do stuff, either one, they don't know what they're doing. 2, they build it for the masses. Or 3, it's not really field tested. They do it because it's a cut corner type. It's already in the mold. They're not changing the wheel type of thing. So it kind of boils down to that. I'm just kind of moving around the background, moving things around, trying to find out what else I need to do besides clear these, but I don't want to clear them before I get out of here. I don't want to make more dust. I got to put doors together. And I got to try to take apart one of these pew legs. Let's put together the doors. And do that over here on the outfeed. So right now I have stuff all on my tables, and we'll be getting more woodworking benches. What are those benches called, Holly?
What was that?
What's that brand of the benches we like?
The brand of what?
The benches, the work benches.
Oh, geez. A long name, I can't.
think it's like there and some other places.
SJOBERGS. Somebody else say it.
I'm terrible at names.
It's like going to a classroom nowadays and trying to pronounce someone's name. Not going to try it. I really just spelled out loud.
But yeah, we like this has a rare earth magnet in it type thing. It catches a lot better. You can tell they're usually silver. They're not that black, brown color, or kind of a cobalty, I guess, color.
He's saying for table legs that he's done a double cut bandsaw
I can't hear
technique.
you.
Double cut bandsaw technique for table legs.
Yeah. I think you can taper legs on the table saw too. You can get a tapering jig, or you can make one yourself. Again, you have to, if you're doing hobby work, time is not of the essence. But if a company can fit 5 jobs into the time frame that it would take to do one job completely by hand, and this is not a hand company, it's we use machinery, we use tools, we use dominoes, pocket holes, however kind of production we can do. We will do some hand work here and there if it's fun or if they're paying us to do it, but for the most part we try to just pump out as much as we can. That way we can expand the company and grow and buy more cool stuff and tools and pay for employees and pay for the lights and eat. But yeah, if I can skip a process of actually doing legs, or doing, even sometimes we'll order drawers instead of making them. We'll order doors if we have so much volume coming in. We've had to do that on a few jobs where we actually have to order doors because we can't even make our own doors because we are backed up so much. And to get to everybody, she does a wonderful job at the schedule, kind of saying, can you build these doors in 3 days? Well, no, I need 4 days or 5 days in the shop. You don't have 5 days. I need you here in 2 days. So we kind of work and kind of have to pivot on what we can and cannot do as a company with limited sources and labor that we have to kind of adjust for. But hey, if you've been in here for a while, I appreciate it. We appreciate you talking and hanging out and listening to me ramble on and all that fun stuff. I'm grabbing a water because I'm getting kind of parched.
You spend countless hours on YouTube looking at other YouTube channels, just learning,
seeing what I want to do, what not to do, what they do. Make it your own type of thing. I've already was doing that anyway, was making stuff my own. And don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing the older creators or the ones that have been on there for years and years and years. But you kind of actually, I think the younger creators, I think the people that have been doing a shop or been doing a hobby or getting into the hobby are a lot more entertaining than the guys that have been on YouTube for 10 years that have all the nice equipment, that are sponsored by all the nice people, and they only put out a video a month. And again, I'm not bashing any. I still watch them. They come up on my feed, and we watch them, and we talk about it and stuff like that. I didn't bring my glue.
You don't even just watch them; you know some of them.
Yeah, I know some of them, but I didn't really know that Titebond made a thick glue. Or it just escaped my mind. So we ordered some of that the other day. That's good when you're putting dados together out in the field. Like if I got something sticking in here and I don't want it to run like this. So if I have this is my jig I stick my material in, that way I can edge band stuff. But if I put glue in here, any kind of Titebond, it'll run down. If I'm doing a connection point or refrigerator panel or something like that out in the field, and I don't want it to run, and I don't want to use silicone because silicone makes a mess and you can't wipe it off, and it spreads like glitter. So they actually Type Bond makes a thick, I think quick thick. I think it's thick or quick or quick or thick.
Thick and quick.
Thick and
He'll
quick.
never remember that.
Probably not. Again, I'm horrible with names, but it sticks in here and it won't actually run down your material. It's almost like a caulk or silicone. From what I understand, we got it in. We just didn't bring it out of the office into the shop today. So we'll do that later. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. But yeah. So the way I got to do this is going to be different. So I kind of got to tape it together. Might just flip it over, lay that out, and then screw them in. That probably is going to be the best way to do it. So basically what I have to do is I have to get it like this, over into here. One holds the other one up. I'll just have to kind of lay it out to where they are even and where I want.
Josh, it holds your comment for review. I had to read it first and release it.
By the way, I don't take myself seriously. I don't get butt hurt at things. I mean, just kind of be nice and kind to other people in the chats or behind the scenes. But I grew up with people picking on me all the time. That just rolls off. I don't really care. I don't have a big ego. I don't really care. I don't take myself seriously. I get more mad at myself because something doesn't work than I could ever get at probably anybody else. But I do have my days. I do have my days where I am annoyed and just in a bad mood at life, but whatever. All right, I'm going to do the little, maybe the razor blade trick.
Either way, it's fine.
What?
Josh said earlier that quick and thick sounds like my kind of lady, and I had to allow the comment just because YouTube censors it. And he's saying that was a glue joke for the record. Just like somebody commented on a few days ago that we had nice racks, and I had to release that comment.
Yeah, and it's kind of the whole He-Man of it all, right? I watched the whole thing. It's available on Prime, so we watched it. And as a kid, you don't really think of the provocative names that they gave these dudes, and you didn't think nothing of it as a kid. But looking back at it, yeah, you think it's.
Oh, you mean when I was asking you questions about what the world?
Did they really name this guy Ram Man or Fisto? Yeah. It's pretty bad. Y'all messed with our heads and thought that was acceptable. If you grew up in that kind of generation, but yeah, it was kind of unacceptable that they. And again,
the same thing of watching a movie you thought was okay until you watch it with young children and realize it's not appropriate.
Oh yeah, half the stuff. I mean, come on. When I was a kid, they let us watch things like Cujo and expected you to go to sleep right away, or any kind of Stephen King movie back in the day, or what was the other one that's pretty bad? The
Exorcist.
I didn't really care for The Exorcist or Children of the Corn. What was the other one that? American Werewolf in London. Yeah, I didn't want to sleep for a week after that one. I was only like 3 though. First time I saw it. Hey, I found some. So good spacers. And the shop got torn apart because we had to move some stuff around. We haven't really had time to get it back together. Popsicle sticks, we buy them in bulk because we do stuff with cabinetry. Countertops like that. But they make good. You can make models out of them. You can make little things. But they're also good for spacers. So if you need, kind of like the card trick. But if I know I need a little bit of gappage on it, I'll just I'll just break one in half like that and slide it in the hole. So that way, that'll give me my gappage that I need.
Actually, the first time I ever saw somebody use cards was on YouTube. I asked you about it
Oh
because
yeah,
you've
yeah.
always used popsicle sticks.
Yep. That one didn't go in. Yeah, I mean, I've used popsicle sticks. Again, I don't eat the popsicles and then put them on. That'd be a lot better. But I utilize them now. It looks like it's pretty good and it feels pretty good.
Eric said the 80s were great.
Oh yeah. I almost feel bad for kids nowadays because they have no idea. They have no idea how absolute wonderful the mall was in the 80s and 90s. How much good television was on, how cool the toys were, the clothes were, how the music was, how kind of you could go hang out anywhere and everywhere. Everywhere kids were a party. Taco Bell in the 90s was like a nightclub in the parking lot half the time. And you'd have your stupid people that would do something stupid and be jealous or want to fight or whatever, kind of ruin it to everybody and get kicked out. Then you got to go out in the woods and party or drink or do whatever you do as children. But yeah, I really enjoyed that time period. It sucks that more of these kids didn't get to enjoy kind of like what we got to grow up in. And this will kind of be here over the top of it, and I'll just nail that down on site. I like my squeeze clamps. But a lot of the stuff I say, you'll find, is probably related to movie references or music references. That's why I like doing the shorts, is because I don't put a lot of thought into it. It just kind of flows out and comes naturally. All my shorts are, if you watch them, they kind of sync up to the song I put on them, and they kind of flow. So I like doing that. I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. Trying just to get this where I want it. I think the oak has moved a little bit, so trying to get it as square as I possibly can. All right. Now we put these things on.
A lot of times the hinging is almost as important as the build.
Yeah. A lot of times it's a kind of the pain in the butt. And then you got to think of which way is up and which way is Sunday from here. So I don't think I can actually use that. I think that's going to be the better way. I don't think that is. I think it's back this way. And there's nothing. If you order these hinges, there is nothing telling you. I guess we can look. Oh, there is. Never mind. I lied. I was saying something, being mean, and they give you a crappy double weight bit, which I have no idea. Even you have to use a drill, I guess, on that one, or cut the end off or something. Who knows? All right, let's see what this recommends. What else is in this package? Oh, little tiny little bumpers. I mean, I guess that's good for this kind because it's not like it's a heavy throw. All right, so it's showing. Oh gosh, it's showing. The door is in brown, so it's showing the big end. Okay, so if it's I'm looking. Give me a second here.
I know you have to read it.
No, it doesn't have reading. It just has pictures. Not really. So, who wants to read? Just making sure the door orientation's right. So it actually it's if you're doing an inset, it goes one way. If you're doing an overlay, it goes the other way, and that's all it really shows. So on the pictures, and it just kind of shows a little bit better in depth of what it actually is. And we're doing the overlay. So the overlay is going to be on the side.
If you're new to the chat, we're just working on a few different things today. Thank you for logging in.
Yeah, she's kind of watching up with chat, and I'm kind of just playing in the shop on stuff. Not really. We're not doing a huge project, but it's kind of like just like a honey-do list of stuff that needs to be done to go out for other jobs. Tomorrow we'll be out at a job, just doing a couple little tweaks and maybe some driving. Maybe I'll stop by a local wood supplier shop too, if they're open, like Woodcraft or Fling Spore or something like that. It's gonna be up in the Asheville area, so maybe I'll swing by there and see if I can find anything interesting. Anybody want to see anything or talk? I don't see chat fell off again on the TV. We have a big TV up on the wall, and it just kind of falls off here and there. It's kind of
What
weird.
are those things that are out there? They giant chickens, bears, cows.
Yeah, there's two gigantic, almost like the old, like roadside attraction things. There's a big Paul Bunyan on the way up there. That's on. We've never filmed. It's on the side of the barn. There's two gigantic bulls or cows. It's on a little short we did. I just really hit that and moved that where I couldn't. Gosh, I swear. Sometimes, man. Sometimes. Sometimes it's a good time. All right, let's do that. I got to kind of avoid a switch that's in this. This is just a little RV redo build.
This, what he's
So
working
anyway,
on is
most of our work
thing that's going to go into a small RV in front of a microwave.
It's kind of 40, 60,
Very
depending on what
space.
week it is. We do a lot of new builds, but we also do a lot of service. And we like service because it's kind of in and out, super quick. You know, get your money and run. You get a lot more done. You got a lot more stuff you can do. You're out and about doing service work and little alterations on things. It's pretty cool. You know, you get to do a lot of different stuff and see a lot of different people. You go eat somewhere different you've never been because you're on a service call in a neighborhood you've never been that you would never went to probably if you wouldn't be over there for picking up something or doing something or so we get a large drive around kind of exploring time. And if there's something in that area, if there's a waterfall or if there's a cool shop to go to or a knife shop or something like that or a tool place, we'll go check it out because that's what we like to do most days. Anybody else saying, wanting, doing anything? Those look like they're not going to be. We get these screwed in the side and then I'll readjust it.
or you and your helper can look at tools and food and.
What?
Said you or your helper can also go look at tools and food and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's good times. Yeah. It's actually pretty fun to go out and do that kind of stuff. All right, let's make sure. Getting one side of the hinges down. I'm just going to transpose it onto the other one. Where that is. So yeah, we do, like I said, a bunch of little stuff like this. It doesn't all have to be gigantic kitchens and cool builds and all that kind of fun stuff. Might be doing our first royal purple built-in for an office YouTube blogger podcaster. Be kind of fun. Never done a royal purple anything. Came close. There was a job we did the lowers in almost a color like the top of my outfeed. It was a unique color. And again, I don't really care what people want me to do as long as it's legal and doesn't affect me at all. I don't really care that much. Yeah, we don't really worry about it. Kind of like what they say, as long as the check clears, right? I'll build you the Taj Mahal. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to square this because this will square up in the actual hole that is the cabinet.
Morning, Kevin.
What was that?
Said good morning, Kevin.
Morning. Weren't you on earlier? No, I haven't seen you earlier. That was somebody else. Never mind. Hope everyone here is having at least somewhat of a good time or escaping something or just thinking about going out to their shop and doing work, but would rather be in here with us. Welcome. If you don't have a shop, borrow a friend, family members, or neighbor's shop because they're great. It's kind of Coyote Ugly rules. If I could sleep here and I wasn't afraid to walk around barefoot, I'd live here. Shops are absolutely amazing. They're fun.
Kevin's asking what you're building.
Okay, so this is an insert for a microwave. There were large panels on the cabinet, like two big doors, and then it's an RV, and they would close the microwave. Well, that's great and all, but you have two big doors that open up into the hallway. So you got to kind of, if you want to microwave something, you got to open up the doors, stand in the shower, and microwave your stuff, and then come out of it and shut the doors back up. We're removing the upper doors. We cut the doors down to kind of fit in there, and then there were two big doors. We made one a 6-inch door on this side. I mean, we have a video up of the space and kind of me talking about it a little bit. It's just in a short. It's probably, I don't know, 100 shorts back or something, or 50 shorts. But you'll kind of get those a little bit, or get those. You can see it. It's pretty cool. It's going to be a neat little build. But this is just going to slide in the lower hole. That way I don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing this. All I got to do on site is they have a want to go grab that bag that's over. It's behind the level. I think there's a plastic bag that's in there. I keep my sunglasses in the paint section. I think it's in there.
What am I looking for?
Put your arm out. Straight out. Put your arm out. Right in there. Up a shelf. It's in that shelf somewhere.
But what am I grabbing?
Ziploc bag.
Oh.
With parts in it.
Oh, hold on.
All right. I think she found it. So yeah, this will have some. So this is just like utilitarian. There's nothing really under here. So all I got to do when I get to the site is I have a 6-inch door that I'm going to turn. Instead of opening one way, here's the jig for it. They used to be this way. I'm going to turn the handle sideways. That way, that little 6-inch door will open up. And the same thing here. We have a brace in to hold the one door. And then I just got to use this as the jig in the layout. And I got to have the height that I need off of the other door. Where that's, I don't have the strikes with me. But it's just, like I said, an RV. It has plastic.
I don't know how to say that.
Huh? Plastic
Eric
handles.
said, "You're killing me over here. I'm trying to behave, and you're talking about sliding in the lower hole and stuff."
What?
Eric said, "You're killing me over here. I'm trying to behave, and you're talking about sliding in the lower hole and stuff." That's literally how he talks, like, every day.
I don't know why.
That's how he talks, seriously.
Yeah, my brain goes innuendo all the time. And I'm not trying to be that way. It just, again, I kind of talk in movie, song, and innuendo. And if you have an imagination and a warped view on the world, you probably pick it up. And hopefully it makes you laugh and funny. But this is how we do our videos too. They're not, and our shorts. I don't edit anything. I'm not sitting
You're
in front
not trying to be crude. That's just how you do
Yeah,
it.
I'm not trying to be crude. I'm not trying to be rude, crude, or anything like that. And I don't try to be rude, especially to anybody's face.
Hi, Norm.
What's up? But yeah, so we just we are who we are. And like I said, I'm not going to be some edit queen where that's all I do for 8 to 12 hours or 30 hours to put out one video. I'd rather just release, and I get tongue-tied too sometimes, 30 videos or 50 videos. So
yeah, I kind of lost count on the video count.
It's over 800. We just try to put it out as we do it or as we get it. Again, we are a full-time woodworking custom shop and cabinet shop.
You are installing that the next couple.
Yeah, this will be installed. I'll make a video of it. Maybe even, I don't know if I'll go live. It's a small, basically, it's
cozy though.
Yeah, it's like trying to install something in a submarine. It's tight space.
We don't like each other that much.
Yeah, not that much. So let's do that. I'm going to do a test piece. I have I want to make sure these screws don't go all the way through. So I have a small test piece here. My oak is thicker than these cabinet doors. That's the problem. But make sure, yeah, so that's the problem. Always, if you're doing something out of the ordinary, these are the screws they sent with it. And as you can see, if you see that little dollop, that little dent, that little impression, that little, let's not call it what my first thought was to call it when I did it. Starts with an N though. Yeah, so it'll dent out what I'm going into. So I got to find some different screws because the screws they sent are too long for the door.
So Josh asked, what's your favorite wood to work with?
So that's a loaded question. what am I building? If I could build everything out of walnut, I would. I love walnut, but my favorite is Bacote. Bacote is a Mexican hardwood. It's too hard to make a lot of stuff out of, but you can make tools or grips or something like that. I have a piece in my scrap, or my like my knife scale, chisel, gun grip, little thing where I keep all my scrap good wood, but it's too hard. It's like working with purple heart all day or something like that. You it's not something you're going to build cabinetry out of or furniture. You can do pins or tenants or bow ties or something like that out of it, or use that as an accent wood. But it's kind of green gray. Some of it's beautiful. Looks like, when you pour oil into water. Other times it almost looks like just a darker oak kind of look. But it smells like pickles when you cut it. So that's the positive, I guess. Makes you hungry.
Yeah, but walnut's the only one that will keep it if the customer doesn't want it.
Yeah, walnuts. Yeah, walnuts the go-to, I think. The stuff that we like working with the best. It definitely is a funner material. I might have to get some different screws when I'm on site, but at least I know what I need now. I didn't really look into it. I didn't really pay much attention to it. But if I dump out my bag and I put my nice plastic chromed handles back in, and then my little...
Eric was asking if where we're primary base. I said upstate, South Carolina, Western North Carolina. He was asking, is that where we're primary base? I said yes, but we have the shop in Florida. That's
Yep.
It's an online tour.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really shop wise. We're not pigeonholed into that. We do a lot of stuff out in
We'll
the
go
field.
where they pay us.
Yeah, they'll go. I'll go to California if you pay me enough. I don't really have a super big. We have a large range of where we will go, I guess, versus where we won't go. I probably got enough of these little screws to go in the door, so I'll just have to get somewhere. There's 4. Yeah, I'll have to pick up, I think, 4 more of these little screws to actually put back into the other door, because it just won't work any other way, unfortunately. Too long of screws. Now these I don't think are Phillips. They're Phillips and they suck. You almost need a really small square drive bit to really do these. But feel free, ask questions. If she can catch me from running off into a tangent, I can tell you kind of like what I feel or think. Yeah, it's the small square is better. They have both. They have a Phillips cutout, but it's a small square. It's not a Phillips because it wiggles too much. So you got to go with the, I don't know, number 1 or something. All right, let's make sure.
Yeah, if you have a shop in Charlotte, we can stop in if we need to. We could always use a friend shop.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, we can walk around, kind of do a shop tour. You can show me kind of what's
or if you want to do a shop tour yourself.
Yeah, or if you're out and about, meet up. I'm always willing to do that. Talk wood, go to a shop. What's that shop in Charlotte we like? We bought the Oliver at.
Shop in Charlotte we like.
The equipment shop.
Not Rockford.
Nielsen. Neely's.
Oh, Leneve.
Leneve. Yeah, Leneve. We go to Leneve a lot and buy stuff.
Or something like that.
It's more of equipment. It's not really like a woodworking shop. I don't know if you're in this area. I don't know if you go up to Hickory and go to Klingspor. Klingspor is really good. We like the guys up there. If you know of any other shops around that do cool stuff, have cool products, let us know. We're in the area. We're always looking for somewhere else to spend money. Yeah, there's a bunch of these are really weird. It's almost like there's a ball in them or something. They don't really connect very well. I don't like these screws at all. Yeah, you ever find a screw you just don't like? I found it.
You
Found
mean
a
every one that's in the kit?
Huh?
I said everyone that's in the kit. He has a habit of whatever it comes with, he looks at it, says this looks like cheap, throws it in the trash, and then goes buys those are $20 more.
I don't always do that. We usually carry a bunch of screws on the truck. We have multiple small countries' defense budgets.
You have a sandpaper screw budget that's as big as a
and
McMansion mortgage.
And green tape. We go through a lot of green tape. Better than going through red tape, I guess, but there's a lot of green and blue tape. I don't like these screws. But when do I ever?
Woodcraft, is that what you're thinking of, Josh?
I like Woodcraft. Woodcraft's fine. We've been going to Woodcraft for a very long time. So I think I'm going to...
So Woodcraft is much bigger in the area we grew up in Florida. They don't really have that in North Carolina. They do have it in South Carolina, if I'm remembering correctly. Klingspors, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, is equivalent to that, but we do have better customer service with them.
Yeah, that's where we got the slider in Charlotte too, from a local woodworking guy. He was getting rid of it, and we were going to buy a brand new one, and pretty much we got it for half price on Marketplace. So kind of jumped on it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm putting my screws in the center.
Yeah, you're right. There is a Woodcraft in Charlotte.
The center of the adjusting hole. And then I'm not going to put them in the other part hole to hold them together until I'm actually on site. In case I got to adjust a little bit. These things don't have any really adjustments, but they do have a tiny little span you can go back and forth. And if that cabinet isn't square, it's going to lead me to have all kinds of issues in the future. So I don't want to do that. I'll just do 2 screws for now. And if they line up, I'll put the other 2 in. That'll give me a little bit of wiggle room. And everybody likes wiggle room. Yeah, these screws suck.
I would say we do a lot of work on the, so what's weird is we don't do a lot in the center of Charlotte. We do a lot on the south side of Charlotte and then the north side of Charlotte. So like Huntersville, is it Davidson? Connolly Springs, Hickory.
What?
I was trying to think of some of the areas that we did a lot of work in on the north side of Charlotte.
Pretty much everywhere. Almost everywhere in Charlotte we go to.
It's almost easier to get to the south side and the north side than it is to get into the heart of Charlotte, unless you want to go on a Sunday and do work.
Well, the heart or the east side. East side, we don't really do too much on the east side of Charlotte, to be honest.
Rather go to Kings Mountain, Lincolnton area than get stuck in the center of Charlotte, especially like on a Friday afternoon. very much like Orlando or Atlanta. You might as well just go have dinner and then go back out around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so where the shop is in Florida, we do a lot of stuff that's in the greater Tampa, Ocala, Gainesville, Orlando on the
West side.
Northwest side, Lakeland. So we're kind of strategically in 4 major cities, and that's kind of what we wanted to do here. Was we wanted to kind of be centrally to be able to go to Asheville, Charlotte, Greenville, and Spartanburg, or Spartanburg, Greenville. I don't have a whole bunch of people from all over the country, all over the world yet, asking us to do custom furniture and things like that. Now, when that does happen, or if that does ever happen, that would be fantastic. But the biggest problem you have is you can't pigeonhole yourself as a small company into one area. You'll never grow. And you might luck out and there might not be much competition to where you're only in that area. That's where you live. That's where you've worked for 20 years. But the growth potential isn't as high as somebody that's willing to travel around and go multiple areas. And we don't take like super high. I mean, if it's the high paying jobs are fantastic. The kitchens, the custom that nobody else wants to do, we usually end up doing. But if it's just even like a service call, repair a door, repair something like this, it could be $300, $1,000. We'll take those all day. We'll take those every day, all day. If we can fit 1 or 2 of them in a day, or 3 day, or three jobs, sometimes it's better money than just doing a big project. You make more. You could be stuck in a shop doing a table and go 5 times over the budget with man hours. You just got to watch it. That's the biggest thing. You never know. I'm going to put this in there and I'll put this in there just in case I need something.
Josh was saying he's been to Pensacola and the Keys. I don't know if there's a part of Florida that we haven't explored.
We've went from nip to nub, and actually we've even been as far out to Key West, and then even further is an island called Dry Tortuga. It's an old prison and battle thing, almost like St. Augustine and some of the other forts along the east and west coast. I don't know if there's any forts on the west coast, but the east coast is riddled with them, and it's kind of like that. It's just there's literally nothing out there besides a big old fort made out of like coral rock and things like that, almost like St. Augustine. Very cool, and brick, and it's pretty awesome. You can look it up. We have a couple pictures we're talking about maybe putting a little short with, but we don't have any video or anything like that of it when we went. That was when cell phones weren't really made for recording. That was when cell phones were still little flip idiot boxes that had numbers, and you had to spend an hour texting a meet me here conversation, right? All right, let's see if this actually works a little bit. So I can walk up, slide this in to the actual piece, have a little bit of gapping, and then it should just open up just like that. I'll have a top piece up here. This top piece goes up here because there's a microwave, and I measured 2 inches back from the face to the back, so this will kind of it's a little bit longer than this, so that'll kind of cover up that and be flush. This should all go in and screw down to the actual other face of it all. The doors will overlay the other lip that's down here like that, and it should all be good. So you just got to custom make stuff. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on site playing with this thing, but I figured if I could do a little piece there, these are soft closures. I don't think the other ones are soft closures, so we'll do that too. Sometimes we'll do the one cabinet in soft closure, and they'll be like, you know what? That would have been great to have the rest of them like that. This will have a latch on it and a handle right here, so it'll hold the other one closed. And we'll put the little bumpers on it that it kind of came with. I'll do that now. That way those are in. But yeah, so sometimes people are like, wow, those are amazing. We never knew it could have, bumpers on it or soft closure. So sometimes we end up doing all of their stuff because of they didn't know it can actually be done like that.
The fort on the west coast is the Fort DeSoto in St. Pete area.
Yeah.
And then there's Honeymoon Island, which is actually called Calabasas Island. Cedar Key, which is very unique.
Yeah. When you have the Amelia Island Fort and stuff like that.
Fernandina Beach, it's Fort Clinch is up in Fernandina Beach, Amelia Island.
Yep.
There's the one that's north of Ormond Beach in Flagler. That's that fort.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. Mansea? Fort Mansea? Matanza? Might be Fort Matanza.
Kansas.
It's something like that. So there we go. It's done. Like I said, I can do a little bit of adjusting on site. I don't know what the frame is going to hold for me. So I think that's good. I think that's, I got my 6-inch door made up over here. I got this door system made over here. I got my little filler. And I do have some scrap material just in case I have to make something on the fly. I'm going to put my hardware with it. And we either have racks or we have something. There's a lot of jobs with these church pews in here. And a lot of the...
About 9 jobs.
There's like 9, yeah, there's like 9 jobs in here, guys. And it's kind of all backed up. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. And then also too, we just finished a whole bunch of jobs. So then we have trim and other things floating around, which was kind of cool because I made a wine rack. There's a little video on that. Little wine rack in a 8-inch cabinet that we made. And we...
Hi, Don.
Huh?
Hi, Don.
Hello. We made it out of the scrap of that frame was the extra of that job. And then the other scrap I did use, I cut for that, but I didn't use it because I either put the shelf pins in it or I was going to cut little pieces and put one down, put it up, put the other one on top of it. And we just ended up doing these shelf pins and drilling a few more holes for them. And it worked out pretty good. But and there, again, that's in the shorts. You can find that. Watch a couple shorts. Comment on them. Like a bunch of them. We put a lot of cool, funky music to it. We try to make it kind of flow with the music, and kind of just, I guess, makes music sense. Almost like a movie has a movie score or whatever you want to call that thing, with the soundtracks and with the music to the music. And the situation, I think it's called a score. But we try to do that as much as we can. It's kind of the fun part about the YouTube is the music that it lets you kind of play with. It's almost, and it's not everything. They don't have every single piece of music I would want. A lot of times I think up a song or I've seen it in a movie and I have it relatable to me and it's not in there. So. Sometime I'll use a song too, and I'll put, what movie is this from? Like a movie quiz, like an 80s, 90s, early 2000s movie trivia type of thing. Yeah, so until this job's even done, I'll take my scrap pieces, my leftover parts, and keep with the job pile of stuff that goes out, and I'll put it on the truck. 1, the customer might want it. You never know. 2, just in case you got to do something on the fly. And all I did here, which is on that other one, I had to cut it. So a lot of the doors have either edge banding, which I don't have this material. So all we do is put a piece of oak edge banding on it and put a little bit of, I wiped a little bit of morning mist. I guess that's better than morning dew. But Rubio Monocoat morning mist. So I wiped that on, and it was close enough. I mean, you can't really tell. So it's a little shade darker, maybe a little shade silvery, but for the most part, look pretty
Don's
good.
in Clearwater.
Clearwater, we love Clearwater. Columbian, love the Columbian. We went to I think we've been to every single Columbian in the state of Florida.
What a cringy question. He's asking if we're snowbirds. No,
you
we're
can go through
from
that.
Florida. We're
We're not halfbacks. We're not
halfback. So it's a weird question for us because we grew up in Florida. We're from Florida. We spend our time in the Carolinas in the summer because the Florida heat is too much. And we almost are, well, for us, we're almost reverse snowbirds. And then we go back to Florida for the winter.
Yep. And we'll go periodically if there's a project.
Year.
Yeah, if there's a project we got to go back for, or family stuff, or anything like that.
Yeah, the Columbian.
We'll do.
The one in Ybor, the one in Clearwater, St. Augustine.
Celebrations, and then there's one more we went to too. I think maybe it's over in north of Fort Lauderdale somewhere. I think.
Hold on.
I don't remember where.
There's a delay in my ear. What was that?
The other one. I think it's over by Fort Lauderdale or something like that.
I think so. That's maybe the only one we haven't been to.
Yeah. The one in Ybor is really cool, and the one in St. Augustine is really cool.
But the St. Augustine one's my favorite.
St. Augustine one's the favorite. Also, too, you can go around. St. Augustine
is my favorite
place. If anybody in here goes down to Florida for any reason, take 2 days or take a day, go to St. Augustine, go to the Leiter Museum.
Leitner.
It's my favorite. It's her favorite. It was an old hotel that they would flood the bottom into a gigantic ocean pool, and it's got a museum in it. They do venues and events and stuff like that in there too. There's collection rotations through. It's right by Flagler College, but they have the Columbian downtown. They got good fudge. They got good silversmiths stores and things like that. They got the fort, but they got like tons of restaurants, and they have the best popcorn shop that we've ever been in. Thousands of flavors, everything from red hot to all the fun stuff. But you can order from there too online. I don't remember what it's called. If you just type in popcorn shop or popcorn store, St. Augustine, there's a million flavors, and they do ship them. But that's the best one we found so far. Fresh tasting, not kind of wilted and soft, and they have a large variety.
So we absolutely know where Palm Harbor is. Some of our most favorite customers have been from the Palm Harbor area. We have several projects that are on our social media page, YouTube, that are from Palm Harbor area. We've done a lot of work in that area. Yep.
Yeah, we like the Palm Harbor. We like Safety Harbor, Palm Harbor, Dunedin. Done a lot out in Dunedin. Really cute little town. We don't miss the heat in Florida, and we don't miss how crowded it is in Florida, but we do miss Florida. Florida's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. If you go out and explore, there is stuff that you will never see anywhere else in the world. From the springs to the waterways to all of it and everything. It has some of the best fishing. I mean, I grew up fishing as a kid, mostly bass fishing.
So, and then welcome to who's new in the chat. He was asking so is it Anton? Is asking Festool is best, and say what do we sell? We don't really. Festool is the best.
Yes, Festool is the best. Just watch some of my videos. You'll see I'm a Festool fanboy. I love it. We have it down both shops. We keep it on the truck. I just got recently.
And then Don asked the one from Clearwater, what do we sell?
What do we sell?
What do we sell?
Tool-wise, or?
The question is, what do we sell?
So what do we sell? I mean, we sell woodworking. We sell kitchen cabinets. We have RTA lines, and we have like ready to assemble in the box type thing. And we have a couple cabinet lines. And then we build and make custom furniture, custom woodwork projects. Sometimes we'll do hammers, and we have a hammer giveaway coming up here. I'll show you two of the the newest.
Do you need to bring the camera over there?
Do what?
Or are you just gonna bring the pistol stuff out?
I can bring the hammer over since I find the new toys. There's the big one. I'm looking, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. There's that. There's that. It might be in the truck. So we've bought a few Festool Domino cordless tools. It's got to be in the truck still. I think I had it because of the stair job, and I was gonna maybe have to use the handrail. But you can turn it back over to here. I'll be over in this region. This thing's great. We bought it that way. I don't have to go hunting around for my little. I have a little those Bosch pony drill or routers. We have a DeWalt cordless router, but I saw this and I was like, well, that's not. It wasn't poorly priced. We already had the batteries because we bought the Domino, and we have the multi-tool. The multi-tool is phenomenal because it has a plunging support bracket in it, and it's good for cleaning up, connecting your mortises or dados. It's not a fine tool, but it'll clean them up. There's a video way back about me going over that with it. So this thing's great. You can buy chamfer bits in a couple different angles of the quarter 3/16 round over. I use it now on the tabletops, like on right here on the solid surface. I just
Where in Louisiana, Don?
round out Louisiana. Been to Louisiana. It's hotter than Florida.
Yeah, we thought I got this.
We want to go check out all
We're
the
gonna go to New
vampires
Orleans
and eat the turtle soup and have the wonderful I love jambalaya. Oh my gosh, jambalaya and cornbread. That's one of my favorite meals. Give me a good seafood jambalaya, man, and even gumbo with some bay leaves in it. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. And that's the other thing too. Different regions have totally different. Either they have really awesome cuisine from all over the world that are just done well, or you're pigeonholed and eating some vanilla stuff that isn't. So, yeah, we love New Orleans-y kind of Louisiana foods. Amazing. We've been in a few places out to, what was that area? Was it named after you? Holly?
Oh, you're talking about Camp Holly?
Camp Holly, yeah, or Holly Beach or something like that.
Holly
That's
Beach.
out in the.
You talk about, they call it Redneck Riviera. It says it's a big sign. It looks like they made it out of garbage that washed up on the beach that says
on the side of a shack.
Redneck Riviera.
Yep.
We
and
left
there's a part
Orange,
of Florida
Texas,
called that.
Went back towards New Orleans, found like the rural route. It was something real special.
Yeah, it was. You better have a full tank of gas. Special.
Yes. There's no gas stations.
Everybody was super nice. We're not saying anything that it wasn't about the people, but it was like the place that time forgot, or where stuff washed on shore. People were great. Couldn't understand all of them. There's a large accent, thick accent definitely down there. But are you going there next week? That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we just ate in the quarter a lot, and we had a few places we stopped and ate. But again, I'm a firm believer in if you're going that way, have some of the food. Go to as many places you can get.
We love to travel to Texas and Louisiana. It was just growing up in Florida,
but
it was way
Festool.
too humid, and I never thought that was possible.
All right. Put that back. Put this back. Yeah, I don't know where my Domino is. It might be over here. Is it over here? It's a router, a sander. Nope, not over there. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's in the work van. I had it in there for a project that I don't lose tools either. So that's just where it is. It's in the work van. Not a big deal. So, like I said, I'm going to use it on a handrail on a stair job coming up here this week, which the handrails are over there, and I've already joined them together. But I brought the domino in case I had to recut them at a 45 and shorten them or something like that. But I dry fit them up there, and they work fine. They're over, kind of if you're seeing where I am, over in the background past the table on the green by the solid surface over there. So I'm going to grab another drink real quick, so I'm talking my head off. And I got to think of what else I want to get done today. Other than hanging out with y'all. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, oh, that is. Yeah, I don't think we've. I mean, we've had a bunch of people from the U.S. comment. I know a lot of people overseas are sleeping right now. We've had some Australian people in here before on some of the live stuff, and one or two from the UK.
Don, if you get a chance, you can always share some of the images from your travels, even on our community page. We'd love to see them.
Yeah.
While you're working on your channel.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of grow our channel, and if we can help along the way of growing anybody else's or whatever, you know, if we can. We were in one. What was it, Victor's chat?
Uncle Vinny.
Uncle Vinny, that's what it was. Uncle Vinny. Really nice. We found a lot of people in there. I think I've seen one or two of them pop up that were in Uncle Vinny's the other day. Chat, and they started just liking us and stuff like that. And I am known a little bit. I mean, people run across like, hey, it's realistic. I didn't know anybody knew me. I was just talking in space, but I guess a couple people on the forums and some of the local guys on the lower subscribed channels, I guess knew who I am. So that was kind of cool. We have put out a lot of videos. We have had a lot of views. But our watch hours are down. So if you're watching, great. If you go somewhere, just leave your TV running, or play some of the long-term stuff and go to the channel and hit the all button. But yeah, we're trying to get up to get affiliated and monetized and whatever fun stuff like that before they raise the bar on everybody. We just started this year. Again, we do have two shops, one here, one in Florida, up in the Carolinas, and we just do all custom woodworking stuff. Knives, we'll go to knife shows. We make knives or hammers or something like that all the time. We like cars. We like dogs. Sometimes you'll see the dogs at the shop. We like all that kind of stuff. We do a lot of you know, I didn't want to make it, and we didn't really want to make it 100% about woodworking. There's a little bit of travel. There's a little bit of places. There's a little bit of, we are going to be doing giveaways. We just, as time goes on.
Say hi, Keith.
Who?
Hi, Keith.
Hey, Keith. We will be doing giveaways. We just made the mallet. It's all hickory. It's a work mallet. You know, you can kind of choke up in here. Hit stuff. It's got Bengay and Wingay. I'm sorry, Wingay. But Binga and Wingay through tenant, so it's kind of red and black. I don't know if you can kind of focus in on that. Let me walk around the camera and see. There you go. Just a little bit different. But yeah, it's just a little ergonomic, little hickory mallet. I mean, you can hit the heck out of it. Keep it in your car as a tool. You can do whatever you want. Kind of the edge here is for really if you're doing some, put your finger there to kind of control your your hits if you're tapping in, like maybe do leather work or jewelry or something like that. It's all end grain. It's through tenon, glued together. I didn't put any splitter or riser in there. You can make these things as elaborate as you want, but at the end of the day, you can either hang it on the wall or it's just going to be a hammer. So I'd rather somebody use it as a hammer than a piece of artwork. But we thought it'd be a cool little giveaway, cool thing to talk about. We're going to do it a couple get away after we hit like 500. We stabilized maybe like around 510, 520, and we stopped losing a few because of the algorithm. In like 5 minutes, we went from 500 to
Was he asking 3.0 in wood, correct?
what was that?
He's asking about the wood.
Huh? What are you talking about?
3.0 in wood, correct?
I don't know. Can you help us out a little bit? Not 100% sure what that is.
Wood designs?
3 O's? No, just OOD. No, I spelled it right.
There's two O's in there.
Don't scare me like that. I did it right. See?
No, it's not WOOD. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
That's the kind of stuff we'd order from Amazon or Temu and get the shirt that says wood designs. Oh no.
Yeah, they'll do that a lot to you. Yeah, no Temu here. Funny though. You need a drink? Good. All right. Well, I guess we could start building RTAs because I gotta get a new desk. I'm not gonna build me. I'm not gonna. You can just hang out. I'll move.
You're talking about for the email.
What was that?
It's my typo, not your burning mistake.
Okay. I have been known to do that. I have been known to perjure myself.
I'm using my phone instead of the laptop, which is about making me blind.
Let's go there.
Let me go back. He is correct. I did put 3 O's. Oh my.
What was that?
I typed 3 O's in the email instead of just one. So that's why he was asking about the 3 O's.
Oh, did you? Love these. These are glue guns. They make them in all different kinds. The Super Bonder. They are amazing. You'll see me using it to put cabinets together. But it's just a hot glue gun. But they work great. It's more of a commercial, kind of like they're $100-something on Amazon. You can pick them up. I have one here, and I actually have one in the truck because we also make templates out of them. So if we're trying to get a weird angle or something, we can glue these in on site, and they're just the waffled kind of plastic cardboard stuff that you can pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can order it in, or sometimes they have it in stock. But that's how we make our templates. But we'll glue them together on site, just pushing the material where we need it to be, and it makes a great template. That way you can utilize it to make stuff out of. And again, if I haven't said hello, how y'all doing? And then we also ordered this.
Josh is asking what's the difference between what you showed and the regular old glue gun.
This will melt the flesh right off the bone. It's more consistent. You can do a lot more pumping with it and get a nice larger spread. It's better in the hand. It has these nice racks to kind of sit on and hold itself up. It costs a little bit more. This is about 4 years old now, and it they just hold up better. They have everything from like $10,000 setups where that's like a hot glue bucket with a pump and pneumatic driven to where like big factories use them. This is a small scale. I think this is the middle of the run. I can't remember if it was 79 or 119. They have ones that are a little bit more expensive, and nobody makes a really good battery powered glue gun that I know of. I don't check it every day, but also this is the glue that we usually use, this high performance wood glue, and you can just get a box of this on Amazon. That's where we order it from. Some of our suppliers don't have it all the time, but they're just regular old glue sticks. But we get those a lot. It's one of the big things that we have. Yeah, so we're going to build 2 RTA cabinets, put them together as we talk and go through chat and all that kind of fun stuff. Let me hold down my blade. If you haven't been here all the time, I speak in movie trivia, song references, and innuendos. So hope you speak a little bit of my language. I'm a little sarcastic. I grew up watching George Carlin and Eddie Murphy, so I'm kind of dangerous. Oh, measuring tape down. All right, we're just going to put this over here. End up against that. Oh, anybody say anything fun and exciting?
Well, also too, these RTAs, just like they were saying outsourcing. Not everything we do has to be custom made.
Yeah.
We do RTA kitchens all the time, or semi-custom cabinetry. These just happen to be a desk I've asked him to put together for about 3 months that he's finally going to stop using mine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you the innuendo way. We can touch a lot more people doing RTAs than we can doing custom. We can do a lot more jobs. We can install a lot more cabinetry. We can grow the company. It's actually a lower profit margin, but it's a higher volume. So it's kind of like working for builders, which we don't work for builders. We try 95% of the time to do all. We do commercial, but we try to do all owner jobs. We don't like working for other contractors or GCs.
We generally work for already established homes, commercial properties.
Yeah, we don't really, not that we don't play well with others, but we just don't like it. We've done that. We've been there. We got the t-shirt and we just don't like it. So we'd rather just kind of, and also too, if you're always the biggest problem with, if you're a small shop and you're working for GCs, they act like you owe them. You should be grateful they're actually giving you work, and they manipulate your schedule. Oh, well, I didn't do my job and plan it out all right, and we're a month behind, but the second this is ready, I need you to drop everything you're doing, and the heck with your schedule, I need you to fit me in. Well, if you have 5 or 6 jobs like that, you're in a constant panic of what you can do and how you can adapt your schedule, and then also to get to your clients. So we've just found that it's not very fun to do that. That's not like the building motto. And you can actually do this a little bit better. There's a better way of doing this. But these are very easy to assemble. Very quick way of building a kitchen. We usually have about a day. Now I don't usually talk to everybody while I'm doing it, But I usually get it all laid out. That way it's out of the box. It's better to do it on like a 4x8 sheet of plywood. These are dovetail, soft closures, all that fun stuff hardware. It's really nice. It's not Bloom, but if in an instance of um,
this cabinetry is KCD cabinetry. It's Kitchen Cabinets Distributors. They're out of the Raleigh area.
yeah, they're actually out. I mean, we use them in Florida too. They're they're better than like a lot of the lower ends that you find in Home Depot and Lowe's. They don't have as many colors or patterns and stuff like that and designs, but I mean, the quality wise, we dealt with a lot of different we install stuff for them every now and again when they can't find somebody. We'll install a kitchen from Lowe's or Home Depot. And what's that? Craftmade. Everybody loves Craftmade. Craftmade's it's kind of like Powermatic, where it's the gold standard of equipment. Well, that's just the advertising thing they made up, but to sell more Powermatic. But Craftmade, we've installed tons of Craftmade kitchens, and I like this stuff better. It's just overall, it's nicer. All the Craftmade stuff is all in back order. So you'll open up a cabinet and it'll be like an IOU. I owe you a door. I owe you a drawer. It's very hard to install a kitchen like that when half of the parts aren't even in. What I'll do is I'll run my blade down the rabbit or the dado, tomato.
What a lot of these online companies do also that they don't tell you, you can order, like a lot of homeowners will want to order their cabinetry online. What they don't tell you is this is the exact same cabinet. They just up price it by 20%.
Yep.
And you can order the exact same cabinet from KCD. They just give it a slightly different name.
Yeah. So, and then also too, what they do, they just name it something different. But what they do is what we don't do. I mean, we do our markup and we do the install, and you're not paying for all the extra fluff. But usually even if you just buy it from the store, we're 30%, 20% cheaper than even that is, and that includes install.
You go to a box store, yeah.
Then you still got to pay for install or use their installer. So it just really depends. And this is a nice middle brown. I think it's called actually fawn. But there's a lot of that that's kind of just ridiculous.
It is called fawn.
Yes.
That's the real name.
Yeah, that's the real name. That's the real name out of the real catalog and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make me a desk. I'm going to put two of these together. These are 18s or 15s? 18s. These are 18s. It's got a real fancy name like B18, which means base 18. And these are finished ply on this side, on the exposed sides. On the insides, you have UV1 coated ply. It's all dadoed, it's all rabbited. It's got the pins in it set up for hardware to do a shelf. They usually come with a half shelf. You can make a full shelf. Sometimes we do, or sometimes we do the pull-out shelves on a lot of kitchens. And what I was going at before was, I think I was rudely interrupted by somebody. We sometimes we'll replace the standard hardware with Bloom. Now they're both soft closures, but some people want that hardware. It's kind of like wanting that specific tire or something like that. So it just depends. We can a la carte anything that you really want. But yeah, it's all hidden dovetail, exposed dovetail on the side, not out the front. You got the kicks. Like I said, usually we do it on a bigger table. I'm just kind of doing it out here. That way y'all can see it. And kind of see
One thing about RTA is you can never have enough clamps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these you don't 100% need the clamps like you would in other stuff. If I'm building something and having to glue everything together, and they color the bottoms, which is really weird. So this is the bottom of the cabinet. You have the UV inside, but they still cover and finish the outside, which is kind of weird to me. They don't do the back, but they do the bottom underneath and finished. It's one of those things you just don't understand, right? Again, I'm just kind of getting set up to start doing stuff. I'm going to activate the old super bonder. But yeah, you can absolutely go with a cheaper glue gun model, but when you start tugging on the handle, trying to get as much glue out as you can, you'll see me kind of spread it. Sometimes those break. They're not made as well. They're just crafting stuff. This is actually like a commercial brand. So what we do too is if we build the cabinets, and we don't ever build them on site. People have wanted us to do that, and you feel like a monkey at the zoo. They'll turn their recliners around and just stare at you all day and just watch you do something. It's a little odd, I guess. If they're paying for it, they think they can watch the show. But some people actually would request that we do everything on site, build all the cabinetry, build the built-in, the custom stuff, the doors, everything on site, and we don't do that. We'll take an advisement of what somebody wants us to do, but if it's kind of company policy not to do whatever they want us to do, we'll just decline. If that kills the job, then we weren't the right company for them, and they can find somebody else to watch like a soap opera or do everything on site or whatever the case may be. Just a weird question, isn't it? Would you build my whole kitchen on site? I don't know. Kind of odd.
I think with RTA, it's a weird question. When you were building and cutting literally to fit customize in a home, back in the day, that was a little different. We don't do that either. We measure and because you have controlled environment in the shop. But RTA, it's strange because we have all the tools we need here.
Now, when we do a custom built-in or a custom job, we bring everything, and there is some level of alteration on site. This is the first thing we do. See these little junky clips? We don't ever use these. We throw these away. We order the 5mm metal shelf pins from Amazon. These, I would have a truckload of them at the end of the year if I kept all of them. I can't stand them. I hate them. We throw them away. Even your higher end companies sometimes come with those. So not a big deal. These are soft closure. These are almost the same thing you can get online. These are DTCs, but they are soft closure and they are three-way adjustable. So they're really good. I mean, they never really had or let us down, had an issue with them, and all that kind of fun stuff. So let me grab my drill, my impact gun. I need one with a longer shaft than that. Yeah, I know. I'm guilty of it, guys and girls. And if you're just tuning in and it's your first time here and your first time with us, I'm not committed. Well, I should be committed, but I'm not committed to a drill brand. I like Festool, really, but we don't carry Festool. I haven't really, because they're proprietary bit system, we haven't. We have old DeWalt stuff. We just got some Milwaukee stuff. I even have some old Bosch small stuff, little screwdrivers and things. It just use what works for you. You don't have to. And this thing's like 10 years old. The other one's probably 20 years old. But yeah, I mean, if it works, when it burns up, get a new one. We needed a charger. Couldn't find one in sight for the nail gun, the little 23 gauge nail gun, which is phenomenal. And because it's a 12 volt Milwaukee. So we bought the whole kit because I wanted to test them out. We wanted to test them out. I don't really like them as much as I like DeWalt. The light is awesome. Other than that, it's about the same. All right. So you can put that down, push it all around. Put this down. All you gotta do is make sure the backs line up. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. So I'll use the sides. And I do have some 1/4-inch ply sheets that are actually right behind this beautiful walnut sheet of plywood. I have a 1/4-inch sheet of this fawn color ply, and I don't know if I have corner bead, but I can make corner bead, much like I did earlier with the you just rip down 2 sides of a piece of filler. Anyway, there's a little bit left. I can't put the other stick in, but you just run it. It's really effortless. Put the other piece in. I think I have this set around 200 and something, and then I usually put a little bit on this back line here. When it So you have a few seconds. You don't have a whole bunch of time when you're doing this, but you do have a little bit of time because it is hotter when it is not put together. Because when you squeeze the glue and that gap squeezes down, the heat comes out of it, so it actually dries pretty quick. Mostly I'm worried about the bottom. The top can be unaligned even on any install stuff, but the bottom is what I usually try to really get at. And then it has 3 little pocket holes or 4 little pocket holes in the back. I don't know how many times we've put in high-end $40,000 kitchens in somebody's house, and it literally, the cabinetry is coming apart. It just depends on what line. I actually like this line.
Josh had mentioned nothing better than a customer who changes in to or comes into the site to change an entire layout when you're already 70%, 75% done with the job. But I said that we communicate a lot. That's why we have a change order clause. I don't think we've ever actually had somebody in 20 years change that much of a job.
No, because she does a really good job, and that's the whole thing too. And I try to tell people that have small businesses like ours, sometimes you don't have a Holly. So if you're just doing it by yourself and you're a one-man band, she's pretty much our legal department. But she goes over, she might get the attorneys involved and write out the contract and send it to them and have them go over what we can and cannot do. But to kind of cover our own butts, because we've seen some stuff. I mean, we've seen our fair share of just idiocracy. And it's not always, I'm not downing the customer. It's either what they've learned, what they've been, looking for a word, not privily, but attributed to. It's what they've experienced in their own lives, either from their parents, from their grandparents, from the school, from the, there's a big northern movement and even California movement where they go, are you licensed and bonded? Well, I'm licensed and insured. Bonded isn't, you bond a job, like a $100 million job you're building. You bond an insurance bond on the job. Company has insurance. So it's just a gray area what people were taught versus that. And yeah, we don't let people flip the script. Now, if we can do it, if they say, hey, I didn't think about this, but I would like that, or can you do that? Or if we run into a problem midstream, we bring it up of, hey, this is going to be an issue. Do you want it this way or that way? We usually give them the solutions to the problem and make them pick A or B. And then she even does a change order. Not that we charge for the change orders. We very rarely do that. But if they still need to sign off on that, if it's outside the scope of what we do in the contract. Best thing you could do is not have a generic one-liner contract. Spend the time, have a pre-written script up that will cover your butt and protect you and help the customer understand what you are exactly performing. I think that's the biggest thing. It's the communication of them actually knowing what you're doing, what they're paying for, what to expect, and you do have this
because that's what they're paying for, and that's what they should expect.
Exactly. See, I'm getting there.
They're paying good money to have their job done. They should get what they asked for.
Yep. And we know a lot of people out there. We've heard horror stories. We've actually had contractors do it, and the ones that don't give you what you pay for.
Oh, cutting grass in Florida is a daily thing.
I can't hear you.
Don.
Don
had to go for a bit because he had to cut his grass. I said in Florida, that's about every other day.
It's an ongoing issue, man, down there. You either got to cut it or pay $1 bajillion somebody else to cut it.
That's not on the brochure for Florida either.
Yeah. Must buy $30,000 in lawn equipment. And that's all we do for the bottoms. Some of them have, I don't want to slide it around too much on this.
Hopefully you have a riding lawnmower if it's over an acre.
Yeah. So I just put this in. Some of them will have screw holes in the back of the lower section that we can put some screws through the plywood. Is it needed? You're in the dado. You've glued it down. This stuff you can't. I mean, I've tried to get it out before it hardens, and you can't pull this thing apart. It's so hard, and then you have to clean out and get the dado off of the ends and outside the dado. It's a big pain in the butt. Huge pain in the butt. And this is what we do for fun. And you can see how just quality these guns are. I mean, they really are nice. Oop. Got a little bit away from me. Got a little bit somewhere else. All right. So then the biggest thing is don't stick your hand in the hot glue, because then you make up cuss words. Now, getting a little bit on your hand isn't that big of a deal, but when you stick your whole hand in it, man, it's rough. All right. That is down. This thing has a little bit of a bow in it, so having to kind of deal with that is not fun. See, they don't always go together great, but when they do, it is fantastic. There we go. So you just got to play with it. You got to know how to kind of get it to where, yeah, that's probably why well, it still runs. Yeah, you just got to know how to kind of come back from, oh my gosh, it's not lined up, or what am I going to do if it hardens and I can't get it into its true space? Well, then you got a whole fun time of trying to fix it. Yeah, so I'll cut me a back out of the ply, do some skins on this. I don't know if I'm going to have open air center or if I'm going to put a cover in them. You got anybody in chat? Or?
Yeah, several people.
Well, hello, people.
Say hi if you're new or if you're still hanging out with us.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us where you're from. Tell us why you're building a cabinet with us.
We know why you're building a cabinet, so you can have a desk and stop using
Well, yeah, I'm building a cabinet that way I have a desk. But I don't know what everybody else is here. Besides my bedazzling personality. I mean, yes, I mean, that's not.
Josh said y'all might be my new best friends.
What?
He said y'all might be my new best friends.
Well, thank you. I don't talk to many people besides the dog
Just everyone on YouTube.
and YouTube.
I don't have social media, but I'm going to get on YouTube and talk to people
I'm all over the
all
world.
day.
Yeah, I don't do social media. Like I said, I've dived in head first on this one. I didn't really, not that I didn't think this one through or not, but I had no social media. So the biggest thing is getting. Now this is where that quick and thick and quick. One of those two, the new Type Bond glue that we ordered, which I might not put the face frames together today because I have that new glue, which I wanted it for face frames completely because the glue dries quicker. And when you're trying to get your face frame lined up and just in the cradle, sometimes your glue will dry. So I'm probably not going to, I'm going to build the drawers, get the doors. I can't put the doors on, but I can at least build the carcasses and get those ready to go because I want to try that new thick and quick. Quick and thick and quick.
Are you trying to say the same thing over and over and over again?
Backwards and forwards.
Quick
I don't know which.
and thick. Type Bond glue.
Quick and thick.
Quick and thick.
Yeah, that's what she said. So it is. We'll leave those off for now. Put these off to the side.
Yeah.
You can do your kickboard if you want to, but it's usually better because you can attach these little guys right here, these little plastic things. You can glue them on, and then or you can nail gun them in, which we have both. We have a nail gun and we have a glue gun. Because I just have a new nail gun, I can actually attach them with the nail gun, or you can do both. But they give stability to the cabinet. So if you're doing it, but you need a pair of needle nose. Let me find my needle nose. They were sometimes seen last in the shop. They could be anywhere. Huh.
Did you put them in your new bag?
No. Aha! See? If they're a snake, they would have bit me. I like these when I use the needle nose because they lock. I don't know where I got this at. Probably somebody gave it to me, or maybe we bought some tools from somebody and it was included in a bag or something like that. Who knows? But these are just vice grip. They do have a little nice little pocket knife, serrated blade, just so you don't have your pocket knife. But they have a larger handle. I just use these. So if I'm gonna put these on, because I did one time, and you can kind of adjust if it's too tight, back it off a little bit. That way it's not so tight on the plastic. But I had my needle nose, and I went to change the direction of my hand, and it opened up just enough where it dropped that hot glue and landed. It still looks a little rough right there, and I was surprised I got this off, let alone my fingers apart. But all you do is just kind of squirt a little bit on the corner, the edge, in the middle, and then you just kind of put it down in the center or whatever, and then just pop it loose. And I can spin it around once I get done. But this actually locks all of that stuff together if you're moving it around, and it's going to be a desk. So I want it to be pretty tight. You don't always have to lock the grip in either. Just if you want to, you can kind of leave it a little bit open. That way when you release it, it'll release. Yeah, I like this. It's really nice. Is chat on my phone, or is it?
It stopped on the TV. I'm just trying to see it if it's in real time on the phone. It's weird. It's always delayed, or sometimes it's slow.
On the phones and on the laptop, it's usually a little better. On the TV.
Yeah, there's a secret for y'all. If you're ever watching anybody who's doing a trivia, you have faster in real time if it's on your phone. and then a laptop, and then the television. It's really strange.
Yep. All right. Look at the butt of my cabinet. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. I just glue those in. And that's, I mean, you can't rip these things off. They're strong little suckers, man, when this glue gets in there. Even on the finished pieces, they're pretty strong. Now, again, we might come back because it is going to be moving around. It's going to be a desk. I wasn't going to put a base on it. I thought about putting a base on it, bringing it up a little bit higher, but I don't think I'm going to. I just want it at actually a regular desk working height. That way I don't have to get some kind of weird chair for it. The problem is I like a good office chair, but they don't make stools as good as they make office chairs. So if you make it higher by making a base on it, it's never really the same. And you will get the little stringies out of this. You will have strings all over the cabinets. And I've had multiple different companies when we pull them out of the boxes from the suppliers.
Strings on them.
Huh?
They'll have glue strings on them no matter where they come from.
Yeah, but we've had those on the highest of end cabinets, the glue strings. You see, they're it's like cobwebs. So it is what it is. You gotta pick your battles. Do you want your cabinet to stay together and be nice, or do you want no glue? So I'm gonna put this aside for today. I'll probably glue it tomorrow. We will go live tomorrow too. I gotta come in the shop for a few hours. I only got probably about 2 hours out in the field, maybe 3 at the most.
2 to 3.
2 to 3, and a little bit of drive time. So we'll see that. I got to do some clear coating before we go. I don't even know what time it is. Like I said, it's hard to tell what time it is. I know I'm getting hungry, so it's got to be 12, 1 o'clock.
It's 2:20 almost.
It's what?
It's 2:20.
Shouldn't be worked this long without food.
You've been yapping your jaw off for
oh my gosh.
2 hours.
I'm gonna have to go get me food, and I'll just keep talking. These people have to live without chat. I'm starving.
He's lying. He had pancakes this morning.
I'm starving. It's a rough day at work, man. And
it's been more than 2 hours.
So the only difference, and it's not an act, the only difference is we got a camera on. This is the way we usually work. We work long days. I mean, there's some days we make helpers cry sometimes because it's like, well, we can get it done if it's like an 18-hour day. I think some people cry a little bit inside. A little pee comes out, but what do you do? And we've tried to turn that back a little bit because what we can do versus somebody else, work ethic, work speed, work longevity is a little bit different. I'm trying to clear it away a little bit because, like I said, I'm not gonna finish it 100% right this second. I'll finish them tomorrow. So yeah, it's 2-parter. We'll probably be in a little bit earlier tomorrow.
Are you doing the drawer?
I'm putting the drawer together. I can put some of the hardware together for the drawer. Put the flappers on at least. But yeah, it's not much left to the carcass. You got to glue the face frame on, and then you can either tape it or you can put little 23 gauge nails in it to hold it. And then if you want to, if you're on a job, you can put fillers in it, or you can do it before it leaves the shop. That's all I'm after right there, are those little things. These are the L brackets. I usually attach those also before. Then you got the hardware over here. These are all nice because they have perforated holes in them. So wherever those are, there's always holes, which is super nice. Try to put the hardware back for the door in the box and the bumpers because I haven't put all that together yet. So I'll just throw them in like one of these boxes right here that came with it. And I'll throw this with the rest of it. A lot of times we don't put the doors back on them or the drawers in them. That way we can transport them easier. So, and also they're lighter, so we'll just leave those out and attach that. We'll put all the kitchen, because you don't want to pull the door off in case you need it pulled off. So it's just off and on, off and on. So we rather just put it all aside, wrap it up in the plastic it came with, and then when we get all the boxes into a kitchen, then we go through and mount all the doors and the hardware. And it works for us. It's easier for us to do it that way. These are already mounted on the actual piece. Pretty easy, pretty simple. I just take a little bit of Tite Bond and just kind of like dab it in the little hole here for the dovetail. Come on. I mean, I'm not taking this apart. I want it to last. I want it to stay together. Helps if you get put it on the right way. So you could do kind of one or the other, or half a dozen other ways. You can get a mallet. We're giving one away. I don't know if you've been in here or you're new, but we are giving a giveaway mallet. It's all hickory. This is walnut and hickory. This is a Teflon one. You can use either one. And you can just tap in your drawers. Clamps work too. You can just clamp it in. You don't want to slide around too much, but this is solid surface. I usually put that, or I put a bumper down if I'm not on solid surface. Just tap that in. I get my... do you believe I did that twice? I did that twice. I'm talking to y'all. I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to put that on backwards. So you got to make sure you get those slots in the right way. And then you make sure your drawer bottom is right side up. Now again, we either make our own drawers with the dovetail, or we order them. Depends on what we need at the time and our workload a lot of times. So all I'll do, instead of trying to hammer those in, I take a large clamp with a large jaw. These DeWalt's work really good for this. And I just kind of push them in. And then I check them. You got to get the tops in too. So you wait a minute. And you can put them all together, check them for square. You can tack nail them together if you want. It's not really necessary. I put a little dollop in the back. Not a whole lot. It already has a little bit because I put it in backwards. Yeah, just a little bit. Just enough to get on that tenon. Then you can put your hand here and kind of tap that way, and then open it up. Tap it in that way. There you go. Then I go back up to the top, put my clamp on it, check it. I got a little bit of squeeze out. Deal. Wipe that off. Wipe that off. Go back at the bottom. Put that together. Make sure it didn't shift on my top. Wipe off the outside. Don't forget to wipe off the inside in case you got a little bit of squeeze out coming through on the inside. And then always check your bottom side, which I got a little bit of squeeze out there. And make sure the back side isn't squeezing out because you weren't looking at it. And that's pretty much all that it is. Pretty good. Good enough for government work. All right, so that is almost it. While I have it here, I will put the stuff on. What's up? If I haven't said hello to you, hello. Welcome in. Thanks for staying. Thanks for watching me. So we'll do a bunch more coming up here in the future. We've mostly been focusing on videos, and it's not because it's easier or it's less invasive or anything like that. It's just one, we had an archive of stuff from past jobs, and second, it was kind of easier. It's not always easier to go live at people's houses or a day where you're just trying to get things done in and out. You don't always have the time, and you don't always have the screws because they only put enough screws in for it. That sucks. They shorted me some screws. Spending on that new inflation reduction thingy. It's crazy. If the flappers will take the 3 screws, put the 3 screws in. The side ones are most important because sometimes on some of these, if they're plastic and they're not metal, they'll bow up. So when you're trying to slide the sliders in and lock them in this little it's an arcade game, that little pinball flappers, this will ride up, and you can't put a screw through your bottom here. So and they do have one for it, but this is only 1/4 inch material, so you can't really put it in there. But you gotta make sure that back screws in, because if not, these will ride up, and they'll cause you just enough headache you want to shoot yourself. It's not fun. It's not easy. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna screw on the back plates that are. You know what? Nah. I'll put the screws over here. How about that? I can do that later. I'll just put the screws over there. So I'm putting them off camera because I want to try a new glue that we got. Instead of using the hot glue on the face frames, I want to use the new Type Bond glue that we ordered, that we have in. We just left it in the office. We'll get it tomorrow. Office is in here. I'm just going to move some stuff around for easeability. Anything going on? Any new fun and exciting? No? Okay.
What is the new dovetail machine that we're looking at getting?
Do what?
The new dovetail machine that we're looking at getting. What is that called?
It's the larger Powermatic. I think it might be the 613, maybe.
We have a list that's so long.
Or no, it's the 60. It's the 63 or the 60 something. They have a 40 something. We're getting the 60. So that'd be nice. Keep talking. What?
No.
I can't hear you. Talking too low and I can't hear you. Okay. Yeah, so basically the first one goes together like the second one, or the second one goes together like the first one. That's what I meant to say. But again, I got to get some stuff, so I'm not going to be able to finish that one. I don't want to. I got all the little chores I wanted done. I just got to clear coat that really quick. And then I can get out of here, and it's going to stink. So we're just going to try to get that and wrap it up. If you haven't subscribed, hit notifications. We're going to start going live a lot more. We got giveaways coming. I don't know if we've hit 500 again since we've been on or whatever, but we're right at that 500 mark. We're a fairly new channel. We have tons of content. We have over 800 videos. We've been doing it since January. We are a full-time woodworking shop and a part-time YouTuber, but we're wanting to expand into full-time and then still do full-time woodworking because we're a glutton for punishment. But like, subscribe, hit notifications. We'll be going live a lot more in the future, and check out our video library so far of just stuff we do every day. We have a lot of shorts put to music, and a lot of videos, kind of how-to-ish or what we do type things, or just even about tools or knives or something like that. But it's fun talking to y'all. I'm glad you joined in. If you're still here, fantastic. Again, if you like and subscribe, that'd be great. There's 10 of you left in here. Hello to everybody if I haven't said hello. But we're going to wrap it up, and we'll be here tomorrow. Might be a little bit later on today. We'll post some videos too, and then YouTube will post some highlights of that's a new feature they have. So have a great day.